By the end of this video, you're going to learn how you can find your first e-commerce product. You're going to learn why it actually sells. You're going to learn our whole testing strategy on how we test these products. And you're going to learn how you can build your first e-commerce brand to 10K a month. Now, this guide took us hours to make. It's everything that we've learned over the last 2 or 3 years in e-commerce put into one video so you can learn it for yourself. We're going to give it to you for completely free. All you got to do is watch it. For anyone new watching this, my name is Ushin and I've built an e-commerce brand to $1.3 million in revenue in the space of 9 months. And with all the experience that I've gathered over the last 5 years of actually building these e-commerce brands, I'm now teaching you guys. I'm not some guru who's taking someone else's information and just giving it back to you. I've done this myself. These are systems that I've used and now I'm going to go ahead and teach them to you. This is exactly what I would have wanted to watch when I started off my e-commerce journey. Now, by the end of this video, you're going to go from a complete beginner to knowing everything you need about e-commerce. We're going to cover how you can find products, what makes products actually sell, how you can build out websites, creatives, offers. Everything that you need to know is going to be in this course. This is just a glimpse in the stuff that we teach. So if you're ready, go get yourself a notebook and a pen and we'll get straight into it. Right, let's jump straight into it. The first thing I want to go over is what is actually dropshipping and what is actually e-commerce. I'm going to break it down in a minute, but I want you guys to know we're using dropshipping as a way to ship out our products so you can go ahead and test products without investing into thousands into inventory. So the first video we're going to go over is breaking down what is dropshipping and what is e-commerce. Give it a watch. It's going to be very beneficial to understand everything. What is happening, people? First of all, welcome to the first video of this module. I'm just going to break down what dropshipping is. Now, I presume 99% of you guys already understand what it is, but for the 1% that don't, here it is. So what it is, what is the difference? For example, your normal e-commerce store. Take whatever e-commerce store that you can think of, an online store. When you place an order to the store normally sends it directly to the customer, right? That's a simple e-commerce store. The difference between dropshipping is one extra step. The customer comes here, places an order on your store, you give that order information to a supplier that you're working with, supplier ships it directly to the customer. Why do we do this? It allows for easier scale, it helps us with our cash flow, and we've seen now that the shipping times from overseas are only like 5 to 9 days, or it depends on the supplier that you're using, but 5 to 9 days. If I was to ship this from, let's say, Europe to America, for example, the shipping times would also take about 2 weeks, and it would be 10 times the price. So working with suppliers who are normally in China or wherever else, it allows for quicker scale, it allows for cheaper shipments, and allows us to run our business a lot easier. Again, we don't have to worry anything, or we don't have to pack our own orders. And it saves us on, hiring people to, pack the orders for us. So just a much easier way to handle, especially when you're starting off. It's going to help with cash flow as well. So that's the only difference. You're just working with a supplier who ships the product to them. So now that you understand what dropshipping is, how are you going to make money? Let's say you find a product, you test the product, and you find a product you want to start building, your brand with. It costs you €10 to ship the item to your customer plus the actual cost of the product. So that's the total cost of €10. Let's say you sell it on your store for €30. You are left with a €20 gross margin. So you're taking home €20 off every single sale. Now, how are you going to make sales? You're going to run advertisements. So let's say we go ahead and run an advertisement on Facebook and we spend €100 on ads, and that brings us 10 sales. 10 sales means it costs, 10 sales divided by €100, it costs us €10 to gather one sale. Now, if we minus the €10 from the €20, which is the total price minus our cost of goods here, we are left with €10 profit per order. That includes the cost of making the sale. Does that make sense? Now, you've just made €10, but you've made 10 of these sales because you spent €100 on Facebook and that got you 10 sales at €10 per sale. So times that by 10, you've just made yourself €100 profit. Hope that makes sense. Don't overcomplicate it. If you were to do 100 sales at the €10 cost per purchase, you just made €1,000. Simple as. So you're not going to make sales straight off the bat if you have no traffic source. So that's why we're paying Facebook to push people towards your website to make those first sales. So hope that makes sense. It's just the basics of dropshipping. Don't overcomplicate anything. On to the next video now. Let's go. So that was the first module. Now you understand what e-commerce and dropshipping actually is. So now we're going to move on to the mindset modules, which is very, very important. Probably one of the most important ones because it's going to set you up for the long term. This separates people from giving up when they don't see success versus staying consistent and actually understanding this game. So we're going to jump straight into it. Make sure you take notes and implement it.
Right into the second video. This one's going to be about mindset. Now, we do have to keep things up to date. So this is actually a new video. We filmed a older mindset video, but this is going to be the updated version because here in Fake First, we're going to keep everything updated. Now, very simple. Understand the long game, impossible to fail, continue learning daily, understand money and faith in business. Going to break down everything for you here because you guys have to understand before you go ahead and start drop shipping, the reason why people drop off, the reason why people don't see it through, the reason why people don't see that success is all in the mindset. They either get, it doesn't work, or it's too much, or they can't stay consistent, and it all comes from the mindset. So if you program and change up your mindset now before you jump into this, you will set yourself up for success without even, knowing it. You're literally starting right now. It all starts in the mindset. So jumping straight into it. Understand the long game. Drop shipping it's a long game, right? You don't come in thinking you're going to see profit off your first product test. Now, while people have done, it's not common to just bang off of your first test because your first and your second drop shipping test is all about understanding how your systems work. So don't come in, if I don't make 10K profit off my first product test, I am gone and dropshipping doesn't work. No, the people who stick it out and see those bigger numbers and push those 100K, 200, 300K months, they are the ones who understand it's a long-term game. Your first product doesn't hit off, doesn't matter. Second, third, fourth doesn't even hit off, it does not matter because I'm in this for the long game and I'm not slowing down until it works. So understand that. And when you take that mindset and understand success doesn't come overnight, but as long as you continue pushing forward, my first and second test is all about learning. Going into my third and fourth test, this is where I'm going to go test for profits and build up a real brand. This is exactly, where you need to be. So don't change your mindset. You're not going to see success, overnight, or don't plan to see that success overnight. And when you focus on learning and developing your skills in dropshipping rather than just making straight profits, you are going to set yourself up for success. Because when you come in with the mindset, I'm all in for the money, while most people set up businesses to make money, come in to learn about dropshipping. Come in to understand and try and improve off each test. And don't focus on your actual revenue results. Focus on, am I actually improving as a person? Am I growing? Am I learning more about dropshipping? And if you're growing day by day, your profits, everything else will level out according to how much you grow. So just focus on learning as much as possible and setting up for the long-term game. Now, impossible to fail. People do fail in dropshipping. I just want to make that very clear. But what I mean by impossible to fail, if you break it down like this, if you come into dropshipping and you never give up on dropshipping, you will eventually see success. So technically speaking, you will only fail when you say, okay, I'm not dropshipping anymore. If you continue pushing through with this, if you continue day by day working on your business, doesn't matter if you failed your dropshipping tests 6-7 times, if you get back up again, you have not failed in dropshipping. Because missing and failing on dropshipping product tests and losing a bit of money here is all part of the game. So understand this. If you fully commit to dropshipping and you never give up until you see success, it's practically impossible to fail. You will only fail when you say, I'm done with dropshipping. You're not failing when your product test doesn't work or if something goes wrong. It is all part of the process for you to go ahead and find that winner. So understand and take this mindset on board. You are not going to fail ever in dropshipping until you give up. And you are not going to give up. You will stick true until you make this work. Because most people see results maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 tests in. So all you got to do is just keep consistent, learn off each test. This is what I'm going to get into next. Continue learning daily. Learn off each test. Your first and second test, right? First to second test, just don't even worry about it. It's all about learning. Third, fourth, fifth is the ones where you go ahead and test for profits and test to actually scale up and make money with dropshipping. But listen, if you never give up, it's just a matter of time before you find out what is exactly working and then you go from there. Now, if you still haven't found a winner after your 6th product test, let's say the range is about 3 to 5 tests for people to hit off their winners. And if you're not seeing results after the 5th test, you need to reach out to us. And there's something that you're not, maybe it didn't happen. Maybe there's something we need to look at. Simple as. But your ballpark is 3 to 5. And just continue pushing through. Again, impossible to fail until the only way someone fails is when they give up. And if you're not going to, and you take the mindset of, I'm going to do this until I win and until I see that success, then it's just a matter of time. Now, continue to learn daily. Very, very important before we jump into this, like into the full guides. You need to, I've seen people, right, just from past experience, go ahead, they'll do module 1 to 6, which is the basics, but they won't keep updated with the live calls and the trainings. I can tell you right now, the people who are succeeding are understanding the most about the game. You need to continue learning daily, learning daily. The minute I stop learning is the minute, my growth stops. Because learning is so important. People will learn, doesn't matter. If you want to measure someone's success off money, if someone has $1 billion, they're still learning. They can still push more the more they learn. So don't ever feel like you have not enough to learn. Don't ever feel like, okay, I'm done learning. You need to continue pushing learning. And this is easy to say, or you probably won't be like, okay, that's fine at the start because you don't really know a lot about dropshipping. But when you come to those levels and you're pushing 1, 2, 3, and 5K days and 10K days, 300K months, whatever it may be, you need to continue pushing yourself every single day because that is how you'll continue growing. The minute you stop learning is the minute your growth will stop growing. So, very important you continue learning daily, learn off podcasts, read books, and understand as much as you possibly can. Understand about how money works, understand how mindset works, understand how dropshipping works, so on and so on. And I can tell you, there's so many live calls and trainings inside this Faith First Guide. Absolutely everything. And it's so important that you just catch up to every single one of them because I can guarantee you a lot of you guys will, once your modules are done, you'll just continue dropshipping and then you go from there. Which is good, you're moving with speed, but it's so important. There's so much value in the trainings and the live calls. Like if you can get through them, yes, it's going to be it's not easy to sit there. It's going to be about 20, 30 hours worth of resources. But if you can just sit through that, if you can dedicate 3 days and just get through that, my goodness, like you'll have so much knowledge. You'll know exactly what to do. We get so many questions inside the groups of stuff that has been answered in the calls. Learn as much as you can. Now, understand money. This is one where you're better to just read books, understand and listen of different perspectives because it's a very big topic. You have to understand how money works. Understand that, a lot of you guys are working, a lot of you guys are in college, a lot of that is just trading time for money. Understand the overall money side of things because there's a lot to understand about money. Money, technically, it's not even, it's just a value, right? Don't set money as your top priority, right? This is something for a bit more in the future, but all I can say right now, we're not going to jump in too in depth, but learn about money, understand about money, understand how it works, understand, what it actually is, understand how business works, understand how systems work, and all this stuff. Just basically learn more, read books, read money kind of books, read mindset kind of books, because this is a very important topic. And you'll gather a lot of this as you scale up, but just from past experience, a lot of people will go from jobs and they'll scale up their business and be like, well, money's not even real. Understand how money works. Now, last thing, faith in business. Probably the most important thing for me. I would really recommend every single person have faith in everyday life, but also, direct faith into business. Having faith in business is believing, right? Knowing that it will eventually work out, knowing that you will eventually make it, and you need to believe that it's done. For me, my faith is very important in my life. My faith is very important in business. As you may know, I follow what God teaches. I follow what the Bible teaches. Faith in business is crucial. I'm not saying you need to go read any of this. I'm just saying have faith in your business. I'm just saying understand what faith is. Faith is believing in something that has not happened yet. So believe that you have already succeeded in business. Believe that your winning product is around the corner. Believe that you have already done it. And then start taking those actions to go ahead and do it. Because once you believe that it's already done and you just start working towards it, you can't just work like 10%, like work like you've already done it and believe you've already done it. Then it's literally about just doing it. It's just a matter of time before you get it done. Now, it's the same as fear. If you believe that you can't do it or it's not going to work for you, and then you start taking actions that, I can't do it or I can't do it, then you're not going to do it. So fear and faith, it requires you to believe in one or the other. You either believe that you're going to do it or you believe you're not going to do it. There's no in between. So choose faith. Choose that you have already done it. Come in and switch your mindset to, I have done this and I'm going to get it done. Take that mindset, go in, believe you've already done it and you're going to do it. That's the mindset video. We'll get into the next one now. But yeah, mindset is very important. When you set up your mindset first and you go into this with a correct mindset, things will be a lot easier. Looking forward to it. Any questions, put them in Faith First Group or at Faith First Coach. Let's go.
Now that's a mindset done. So now moving on to product validation and how you can actually find products. Again, this is a very important module. This is the basics that you need to go ahead and do so you can understand what is the reasons behind actually finding these products. We're not just testing random products. We're looking for specific things and we're seeing if these products actually sell. So you're going to learn about that right now. Let's go. What is happening, people? Into another video today, and today is going to be about validating a product. This is very important, and we're going to do the validation before we actually go ahead and find products, because this is a very key step and it's very important to know before you go ahead and actually find products. So what is validating a product? Validating a product is seeing if the product, is worth actually running and if it's worth our time to test. So 4 points that I need you to ask yourself when you find a product. Does it have lots of content? Is it selling right now? Does it solve a problem? And can I make good angles from it? So I'm going to break down each one step at a time. Does it have a lot of content? So whenever you find a product, make sure the product has a lot of content, right? So how are you going to find the content? Search it up on TikTok, search it up on whatever sites you want to search it up on. If there's lots of videos about the product, it is a good sign. It means that there's, good UGC. It means there's people talking about the product. It's just an extra boost of validation. Doesn't mean you don't have to test, or it doesn't mean you can't test the product if it doesn't have a lot of content. No, but will it be hard? Yes, because there's not a lot of content to make. You're gonna have to go ahead and order in the product, for example, for yourself. It just takes a lot of time instead of a product with a lot of content. So very important. Product must have a lot of content. Now, is it selling? Good way to validate if your product is selling is by coming to Amazon. First of all, next video we're going to go into actually how to find it, and we use a tool called Winning Hunter. It's basically like a site that just pulls all the ads into this one dashboard, and you can go and have a look at all the ads. So in those ads, it will show how many people are actually selling the product, is it selling well, so on, so on. So that's one validation point. The second validation point is actually searching your product up on Amazon. Now here's one way that we like to see it, right? If you see 1K bought in the last month, 700 bought in the last month, 1K bought in the last month, 10K bought in the last month, that's a great sign. And what's an even better sign is when you have low reviews. So when Amazon listings have low reviews like this, 28 reviews, 700 bought in the last month, 480 reviews, 10K bought in the last month. What that basically says, it basically says that this product is new to Amazon, but it's selling like crazy. For example, if I launch an Amazon listing, I'm going to have very low reviews or none. It's going to take me time to build up those reviews. And if I'm getting 10,000 orders when I only have 480 reviews, it is an amazing sign. It means that the product is selling right now. It's going crazy. So it's a great product to jump onto, given everything else, matches up, and it could be a great product for you to test. Now, if your product has a bit more, let's say it has 10,000 reviews and only 1,000 bought in the last month, what that basically means is your product's been around for a long time. It's still selling, and you can still sell it with good enough angles, but it basically means it's been there for a long time. It's getting little, or not little sales, but it's getting a consistent amount of sales, let's say 1K every single month, compared to the 10,000 reviews it has. For example, 5,000 reviews or whatever it may be. But this, when your bought in the last month is more than your actual reviews, it is an amazing sign. Again, it means it's a new product that's come to the market. People are buying it. People are, love it, and it could be a great product for you to sell. But you don't need your product to have this validation point. It's just another extra validation point for you. I'm going to break down now what you need to mainly look for. So the main 2 points that I'm looking for is, does it solve a problem, and can I make good angles from it? So what do I mean by that? For example, this product, it gets rid of clogged pores, makes their woman's skin, or whoever uses it, makes it a lot more smoother, looks clearer, so on, so on. Versus, someone's skin before, clogged pores, blackheads, dull, bumpy skin surface, right? So it solves a big problem, right? Women they'll happily spend the 20, 30 euro it costs as long as your product can actually solve that problem. 20, 30 euro for that problem is nothing. There's lots of women that would pay that. So does it solve a big enough problem? Yes. Can I make good angles from it? Absolutely. How many people can relate? How many people out there have problems with their skins and they want to have clearer skin? You know what I mean? That's why focusing on beauty niches, for an example, are great.
Every single product will sell, but you just need to see if you can make a good enough angle from it. So make sure to focus on this. It requires creativity. You're not just looking for certain points. You need to think outside the box here. And this is what is going to separate you from the rest. How well can you be creative? How well can you think? First of all, does it have a lot of content? Yes. Is it selling well? Yes. Right? Amazon, remember that. Does it solve enough problems? Or does it solve a big enough problem? Yes. And can I make good angles from it? Absolutely. You can make angles like, oh, I looked 60, my skin looked, or I went to, for example, you can go to these places and you can get your skin age. So a good angle could be, I went to this place and my skin age was 60. Then I, used this product and I went again and it was 30. You know what I mean? So it relates. People want to look younger. People pay thousands to get their skin like whatever they do to make it look younger. So €30, a €30 solution is fine as long as the product, can solve that problem. So remember this. Remember these points. Like, these are the most important points. When you're looking for a product, see if it has lots of content. Is it selling? Again, check Amazon, check Winning Hunter, check other ways. See if your competitor is selling and scaling. Another great way to see if a competitor is scaling is by checking how many ads they're running. If they're running lots of ads, it's a great sign that they're selling. Does it solve a good enough problem? And can I make good angles from it? It's as simple as that. Don't overcomplicate things. Don't think this product is the most advanced, No, just keep things simple. So next video, we're jumping into product research. Take these validation points when you're going into the next video now. It's going to be very important. Let's go.
What is happening, people? Welcome to the product research videos now. This is very important. This is probably one of the most important parts. Besides from your ad creatives, this is probably the next. Picking a good product. So today we're going to show you, how you can go ahead, find products, what you need to be looking for, so on and so on. So app we're using is called Winning Hunter. Basically what Winning Hunter is, it pulls pretty much every single Facebook ad and you can filter them by different filters. So it allows us to go ahead and see what other people are, posting ads about, gives us inspiration, so on and so on. So starting off, when you get your Winning Hunter subscription, you're going to come to whatever the dashboard place is, and you're going to get a bunch of these filters. So I want to bring you through, show you exactly what each filter is, so you understand it and you can go ahead and find products for yourself. So countries, again, this is going to show what countries the ads are actually running in. Now, what countries we like to choose is US, United Kingdom, New Zealand, Canada, and Australia. These are the big 5 countries. If you think about it, right, the US is like a huge market. All the dropshippers and like 90% of the dropshippers and people who do, e-commerce are mostly in these markets. Yes, some are in Europe, but mostly these markets. And this is the big 5. These are the big 5 dropshipping countries. So we set the countries in the filters to the big 5. Why? Because it's going to show us all the ads that are in the big 5 that are selling right now. And then you find a product, you sell it in a smaller market or an isolated market. And that's how, you're going to be able to really get your foot in dropshipping, make those sales. So countries, set it to the big 5. Again, that's the reason. It's the biggest markets. You're going to have the most ads. You're going to have the most inspiration. Website, set it to Shopify always. You want to be looking for these Shopify websites, these Shopify stores, because you don't want to be selling, just random products that people make on some weird website. Shopify is the main one. So the big brands, the good dropshippers are all on Shopify. Language, again, in these big 5 countries, they all speak English anyway, so you don't even need to worry about that. Active ad sets, you don't need to worry about. Now onto the ad spend filter, you can put this on $40, you can put this on $0. It's not going to be the end of the world. What I would like to say is change up your filters. Think about it. If everyone's doing the exact same filters, everyone's going to start seeing the exact same stuff. So change it up, be creative with it. If you just come to the information tab here, it's going to break down like what it means. Basically, your ad spend filter is they estimate the ad spend. They estimate like a rough ad spend per ad. So if you put this on like $40, it's going to filter all the ads that have already spent $40 on the day. Now most ads that are performing well would have spent, a good bit of money, not like $1 or $2. So that's why you put it like minimum $40 or $50. It will kind of just filter out the more ads that people are actually spending money on. And again, you're not spending money on a product or an ad if it's not bringing you back money. So that's the thinking behind this. You can leave it on 0. You can leave it on like $40, $50. Mess around with it, right? Be creative with it. I'm going to show you what you need to look for in a product. That's the main thing. So
let's just go through each of the filters. We'll pick the filters and then I'll show you what are the most important filters. Again, just going back to active ad sets, because I didn't actually break it down, but active ad sets is like, you know, how many actual ads are live right now. It's not the most important thing. I wouldn't get too confused about it. You'll understand it as you gain experience in dropshipping. Sort by. This one is probably a bit more important. You have newest, last seen, ad set amount, trending, winners. Just go through them each, yourself. You'll understand what they mean. Winners are just the filters that they think are winners. Trending are obviously they're going to show you more ads that are trending and it's starting to pop off more. Ad set amount, there's how many ads, are actually running for the product. Last seen is the ads that have been, most last seen. Newest are the newest ads popping up. To be honest with you, I'd put this on newest or winners, either or. Let's just leave it on winners for the moment. Scaling, leave this off. I don't really like the filtering how they do it, so just leave it off. I don't even, don't really care about that. Media type. This one is an important one. Set this always to videos. Why? Because most people that are running dropshipping products and e-commerce brands, their biggest, creative type are always going to be video ads. Some make images, but the majority make video ads. So keep it on video ads. It filters by, the biggest kind of e-commerce brands and dropshippers. Again, so just keep this on video ads. Very important. Page types, leave this off. I don't think I've ever touched this. Ad score. Again, this is this little thing here. It's the ad score testing. I would just leave it off. I wouldn't worry too much. Maybe you can set it on winning. It's another filter that you can mess around with. But for the moment, let's leave it off. Niches. Again, what I'm looking for is the beauty niche, products in the beauty niche. Again, you can pretty much sell in any of these niches as long as your product has, good validation points, which we broke down in the other videos or in the next video. I would focus on the beauty niche though, just because we've seen a lot of winners come out of the beauty niche. Women, they tend to buy more. They like to invest in their skincare, for example. So beauty is a great niche. Again, don't actually select any of these niches. I just leave it off. I'm just talking about niches in general, but I wouldn't actually select beauty niche on this because it's going to bring up, whatever best ads anyway. And you're just kind of limiting your product research when you start picking certain niches. So I'd leave it off. That's not so important. Now, what is important is your ad creation date. This is very important. So you need to listen up, take out your notebook and listen to this, right? So ad creation date. Let me just make myself over here so you guys can see it. Ad creation date is going to be when the actual ad was created. Wait, give me 2 seconds because you can't see it properly. There we go. Okay, so your ad creation date is when your ad was actually created. Now, think about it. If your ad creation date, today's the 20th of January, so if your ad creation date was over the last 8 days, that means the ad was created in the last 8 days. How many winners are you actually going to find in the last 8 days? Most winners, most winning dropshipping products have been running for more than a month or more than 2 or 3 weeks. Think about it, right? Every single brand that you see that's doing great numbers have been around for at least more than a month. So make sure to set your ad creation date, over a month or 2 month span. And I would set this ad creation date at least a week before the current date. And the reason why, again, as I mentioned, is because not a lot of winners are found within the week. Most winners have been running for longer than a week. So make sure, set the ad creation date at least a week before. Change it up as well. Maybe you can do 2 weeks before. Maybe you can do only 4 or 5 days before. And then going back to when it was first created, I would go all the way back maybe 30, 40, 50 days. Because you're basically telling, filter between 30 to 50 days and the ad must not be created within the last week. You're basically filtering, active ads that have been spending for at least 30 or 40 days. You're going to find a lot of winners because, again, how many people are going to be spending on an ad consistently for 30 or 40 days if it's not making you money? So that's simple. Again, today's 20th of January. Set it back 5 days, 7 days, 10 days, whatever it may be. And then the start date of when the actual ad was created, you can do 30 days before, 40 days before. I'm going to just do the 1st of December. For example, if you were in my scenario, you could go do the 14th of December, even the 14th of November. I wouldn't go all the way back to May, 6 months, because then you're kind of opening up a different kind of, niche where there's the actual brands that are doing like millions every single month, that have been running for like 6-7 months consistently on one ad, I'd stay away from them ones, because they probably have a lot of competition, or they have a lot of the market. So if you try to sell the exact same product that they're selling, it's going to be very hard for you to even compete with them, because they've been running an ad for like 6 months, versus you, who's going to try run the same, or the same product, or near enough the same product for a day. They have so much more data on you. So I do these kind of time ranges, like 30, 40, 50 days from a week of the current date, if that makes sense. Now moving on to the last scene date. This one's very important. Yes, I've moved up to the top left corner because I want to show you the full screen. So the last scene date between the 19th and the 20th. Let's say today is the 20th of January. We're going to set it to the last 48 hours. And the reason for that is because you want to only filter by active ads. You want to only show ads that are running actively. For example, if I set this, right, today's the 20th, I set this to the 9th of January, the 8th and 9th of January. That's going to show me all active ads up to the 8th or 9th of January. That means the ads have literally been turned off for just under 2 weeks. People don't turn off ads if they're making money. So that's the reason behind this. So it doesn't matter whatever date you're at. Let's say you're watching this on the 29th of January. Then your last scene dates will be the 29th, the current date, and yesterday. That means you're going to show active ads that are running up to date. Anything before that, anything like 72 hours or like anything before the 48 hours, is just the ads are probably off, and it's not worth looking at them, because again, they're off. Most people are scaling up products, they're spending money, they're going to stop the ads if it's not making the money. So that's the reason before or for the last scene date. Make sure it's on the last 48 hours. That's very important. Product creation date, that doesn't matter. Reach, views, days running, product price range, and store monthly traffic. These do not matter. Don't worry too much about these. So these are literally the main filters that you want to look at. Your countries, website, sort by, media type, ad creation date, and last seen date. That's it. You can take a screenshot right now, copy these, whatever you want to do, and then, yeah. Now make sure, remember this. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest with you. If everyone does the exact same stuff, people are going to see the exact same products. So change it up a bit. Don't be, maybe look only in the US. Maybe look in a different market. Maybe add the ad spend filter. Maybe change this from winners to trending. Maybe change the ad creation date and make it longer. Maybe mess around with store traffic. Think about it. Change it up. Because you're going to be looking for, all you need to see is just products that are selling, because I'm going to show you now what you're going to be looking for in the products. Again, you can apply this for any way you do product research. Right, so when we hit the apply button, it's going to apply all these filters. It's going to give us a bunch of products to look for. Now, this is exactly like, I'm just going to go through it. I'm going to show you what I'm kind of looking for, right? For example, products like these gimmicky products, stay away from. We're looking for a specific type. And I just want to say, you're going to gain a product research eye, right? This literally thing is called like a product eye. Like you're going to get an eye for products as you gain, experience. So as you come in and you're doing product research, you're never going to be that good until you've been in the game a bit longer, until you test, until you see what products, and then go from there. So, going through it.
It can tighten your aging skin.
You want products that you can show visualizing, the effects or whatever it does. You're looking for products that solve a big enough problem. So scroll through your winning hunter, mess around with the filters and see what is working. Now, I want to show you every single time you're just going to come here and press shop now. If that store is not valid, it's going to open up the website of the product, and it's very important to look at the website. It shows you if the product is literally a good product or not, right? Take this one for an example. This is right, watch this. I just did a bit of research there before I recorded it, but look, it's a lung or cleansing spray. If I come to the website, it sells outdoor living products, it sells home decor products, it sells everything. You want to stay away from broad stores that sell absolutely everything, because I can guarantee they're probably not scaling up this product. You want to be looking for products and product stores that are either selling just one product alone. For example, this one here, I'm going to show you a great example of it here. When I clicked onto shop now on this product, it opened up this website, and it's literally a one product store. Now, the product itself is a $200 and $300 item. It's a higher ticket. It's going to be much harder to sell. I don't think many people are wanting to invest into a product that is $300 that doesn't solve a huge problem. So I would stay personally far away from it. But I just wanted to show you that, this is a one product store.
If I come to the home, it's talking all about this product. When I click onto shop, it's talking about this product. So this is a one product store. These are the product stores you're looking for. Again, the product itself, $300. I'm looking for products between $20 and $40. Everything else is a higher ticket. It's going to be much harder to sell. You can definitely sell it, but I wouldn't sell anything more than $60. That's the kind of cap on it. So yeah, this is a one product store. I'd stay away from broad stores that sell absolutely everything. I'm going to show you another example of a niche store. 1 second. It's going to be this one here. Right? Now this product sells more than just one product, if it loads, but it sells it all in the one niche. So for example, it sells this lip product, then whatever this is, then whatever this is, but it's all based around the beauty niche. So these kind of stores are okay. It's like it sells more than one, but it's still based off in the one niche. So either look for websites like this and one product stores. Stay away from product stores that sell absolutely everything. So if you're looking for a product and the website's selling everything, just stay far away from it. You want to be looking for products like these ones here, right? This is just for example. I haven't found this on Winning Under. I just know it's been around for years. The website's very clean. It shows the offer straight away. You have your offer. The images look clean. You have video testimonials. It looks like a clean website. Of course, it's based around the one product, which is going to be this. Simple as. Stay away from products that are just messy. They look scammy. They have all these like guarantees and stuff like that. Stick to the simple. If it looks clean and it looks professional, it's probably a good selling product. If it looks messy and looks scammy, it's probably a scammy product. So stay away from scammy ones. So now that you understand what website looks like, or what website you're looking for, what kind of products you're looking for, general stores, broad stores, so on and so on, let's actually jump into what I'm looking for in the ads. Again, I'm looking for these beauty products, those ones that solve problems that you can do before and afters for. So for example, this one.
Where has this been for 38 years of my life? Every single time I see somebody I know, they ask me if I just got my hair done since I...
Brilliant product, right? How many girls solve or have problems with their hair where they wake up and it's messy? But the only concern I have is, what is the difference between this and a normal brush? If there is a difference, do your research. Chat to a girl and see, do normal brushes actually do as good as this?
They're using it.
Because if they don't, then it could be a good product you're selling it. Look, it has a clear before and after video that you could use. The clips look very good.
Where has this been for 38 years?
You have some crazy hair, and then one swipe of the brush, it's like salon done hair. It's not super overpriced. You have a great product price. I don't think the website's not the best, but in this case we could kind of disregard the website. The website, they're probably not scaling it up with a terrible website like this, but their offer is terrible as well. But you're looking at a $21 product. You're looking at a product that has great clips, and does it solve a big enough problem? The only thing that is stopping me from testing this is there a big enough difference between this and a normal hairbrush? If there is, then it's just, why would someone invest $20 into a better, cooler looking hairbrush? But if it does solve that problem, if it does solve a big enough problem and it's so much different to a normal hairbrush, then it's something you could look into.
If someone in your family has been coughing
products like
for weeks,
these health products, I would stay far away from. Just because they're kind of in a gray area. Like, I wouldn't really sell health products and supplements and stuff like this. People do sell it, but I personally wouldn't. Don't really recommend it. And like, if you go onto the websites, it just looks like, website doesn't look the worst, but again, this is the product page. When you go to the actual website, it has outdoor living, everything like that. It's like when you go to health, there's a lot of these websites like that. I just wouldn't. It's not a niche that I really like. Probably stay away from it. What about
Oh
this?
my god. This is me in December. I'm gonna cry. This is me in December before I started this
Promoting here that is
product. I went to a dermatologist.
there's ingredients in here that are designed to naturally tighten your skin by promoting elastin production. That's the protein.
Products like these helps you look younger. Again, okay, the website's not even down. I wouldn't bother. I just continue on to the next. Products like these ones, right? You're probably looking, right? Look at it. It gets rid of the grit on your car or whatever. It sands it down. It's like a wax and a cream. It looks great. Great product, solves a huge solution. But how many people actually have this problem? How many people's cars are designed like that, that they have the thing on. It is a great product. It solves a great solution, but the market is just very small. Like, how many people have that problem where they need stuff like that? Yes, I probably a good few, but not a lot compared to someone who has, like a hairbrush, right? Because it solves a huge problem. Every single woman probably wakes up with messy hair versus a small percentage of people that have this on their car. So yes, it does solve a big problem, but the market is just too small. Same on stuff like this, right? Clothing, stay far away from it. There's no offer here. Like, what am I? It's just a clothing ad. I don't want to buy this. I would rather want to buy something like this where it solves instantly, like a problem. Like, I have this problem. Here's my money, or I'll give you money for that solution. What does clothing solve? It doesn't solve a big enough solution. Products like this, gimmicky products that are just like little toys, stay far away from it. You know why? Like, it's just pointless.
If you don't like to wear bras,
and they stretch your it's like a bra product. I don't think it's gonna, be big enough or a big enough problem. Just scrolling through again. This is like a kid device. Kid products are also good ones, but $200-$300, it probably doesn't do a huge. It's not probably a huge solution solver, so I just move on from it. Again, clothing like this, stay away from it. This is the same thing, but just a different ad, like wax on your car. Stay away from it.
This rosemary shampoo can even
Rosemary shampoo, I watched this ad before. It like promoted hair growth. You can show like great before and afters with it. So have a look. That's probably something you could look into, like some kind of product that helps hair growth. Again, how many people have problems with hair growth? How many people want more fuller hair? Men and women, you know what I mean? So it's a big enough audience. It does solve a big enough problem. See if it has good content. See if you can create good angles for it.
But to me, severe hair loss, mine recommended.
Good before and after. So, people will be like, wow, I can relate to that. I want more fuller hair. Boom. $20 to get fuller hair, that's no problem. And given that your product's a good product, then have a look into it. Sunglasses for sports, gaming stuff, clothes, dresses, all this stuff, like it doesn't appeal to me. It doesn't have a big enough solution solver. It's just basic stuff. So skip through it. It doesn't stuff like clothing. Everyone buys clothing, but it's a different niche. It's a different kind of dropshipping.
All right,
Gaming chairs, sport glasses, just move on. It's not in that niche that we're looking for. Go near it.
This rosemary shampoo can.
And the rosemary shampoo looks like a decent product.
If I say that
this one is another one I spotted.
Would you guys believe me if
it was on that half decent website? It's structured well. It is not a one product store, but it's selling all around the same niche. Basically, the product is like a lip. It's like a lip treatment, but it's not sticky. So go ahead, ask a girl that that uses lip treatments or whatever a lip treatment is, and see is it actually a big enough problem that it's that they don't like sticky lip treatments. This is a non-sticky version, right? So how big is that problem? If it's a big enough problem, ChatGPT it, see if it's a big enough problem, and if it is, then it's a good product that you could build a good angle around. You know what I mean? So have a look into it. Just basic bras, again, more clothing. It's cool design, but it's not that appealing. Phone cases and stuff like that. Yeah, it could be the best phone case in the world. Probably wouldn't just move on from it. Again, you're looking for a specific niche, and again, you're gonna get better at it as the time comes. But you can already start to see you're finding that niche. You're looking for those products that solve a big problem, that are not super overpriced, that are in that $20 to $40 range, that have a decent website, that are selling right now, that have good content, good high quality content. You know what I mean? This is another video for everyone. Lip whatever this product is. Look at the before and after of the video content. She puts it on. This is her lip before, and her lips are completely changed in the space of 2 or 3 applies in the space of 3 seconds. It could be a good product to look into. You just need to validate and see if that problem, does it solve a big enough solution? And if it does, have a look if it has the content. Have a look if it is selling well, and then maybe something you could look into.
These slip-ons are
the world's easiest winter shoes. Or the slip-ons, the easiest, blah, blah. Not even looking at
New arrivals have finally dropped in this collection.
These products, again, more clothing. Cool, authentic speakers. paintings. I'm just skipping past them. So if I was doing product research right now, I just skip past it. I'm looking for stuff that pops out. A hand massager. Yes, it's a great product. Imagine, you know, you can get back massages all the time whenever you want. But how many people are actually willing to spend for even, this is $160, but how many people would even want to spend $50 on something like that? You know, it's just, it doesn't solve a big enough problem for the price of it. If this hand massager was only €5, then maybe it's something you could look into. You know, that's more of a high perceived, you know, value item. Something people wanted, but it's just priced too high. You know, so it's not solving a big enough problem. It's something I would just skip straight over. This, on the other hand, right? Look at this. These are leggings for people with saggy skin or loose skin. And when they put it on, all that sagginess looks gone. It looks like a normal body. And people, I can tell you, people spend thousands on just, you know, first of all, getting rid of the bellies and then getting rid of loose skin. If you have a quick solution, $20 for these leggings, that'll change you from, you know, saggy skin to like whatever, like looking good. For $20, people will just throw money at you. Yes, not everyone's super over, you know, weight, but there is a very big population of people that would be, you know, more oversized. Again, look at markets. Maybe you could bring this product to the US where maybe the people are a bit more overweight or whatever. Do your product research. Think outside the box. Be creative with it. You know what I mean?
Snow removal
Snow removal products is a seasonal product. You know, I'm not looking at that. I'm looking for something where I can turn into an actual brand.
I've never had such balance.
Higher priced $100. I'm just skipping straight over it. To be honest with you, jewelry.
Did you know that?
I'm skipping over it. Clothing.
This is crazy.
This is more of like a longer style ad.
Out impurity.
2 minutes. It's not something I'm looking for. I'm looking for like 30, 40, 50 second high quality ads that, you know, just come at me before and after it's done, you know?
If you have a big hole in your tooth that hurts and you can't sleep it, why pay hydroxythinam?
Stay away from this stuff, like again, more health, cosmetics and stuff like that.
No. So.
Oh my god.
Wow. Oh, what is that?
These products I've seen that, like, to be honest with you, I think these are the most like sold products ever. Like, they've been around the last 5 years, but if you were new to this, would have been a great product to sell. It's like a like, how to explain it? It's like it's perfume, right? But it's like one of these ones where the marketing angle is like, oh, your crush is gonna fall in love with you because you smell so good. So it had a very strong angle. They sell like crazy. Right now, I wouldn't, like, just this specific product. I'd probably just skip on past, but products like that solve a big enough problem, right? Of course, everyone wants to get with their crush, you know what I mean? So if there's a perfume that makes you smell that better, or it's actually aimed at girls to get their crushes or to get their man or whatever it is, you know what I mean? You just have to think outside the box. It does solve a big enough problem, but they've been solved for the last 10 years.
It is
cool looking.
Our best seller is fine.
Cool looking lamps and stuff like that. Stay away from. This is possibly a good product, right? It's an inkless instant print camera, right? Cool, but this is the difference. This is called a high perceived value item. Something you could look into, but high perceived value item means, for example, look, I have this iPhone here, right? Where can you see it? There. How much would an iPhone cost? It costs like $1,000. The brand new one costs like $1,000. So if I said, listen, I'll sell you a brand new iPhone for like €200, would you take it? 100%. So that's a high perceived value item. This is a high perceived value item. It's a print camera where you can journal in it. The angle is cool, right? You can make loads of memories with it, which is, you know, it definitely has that big, strong enough angle on it. But at €50, I don't think many people are going to buy it. If you could source this for a bit cheaper and you could sell it for like $24.99, listen, you can create so many memories. You can jot these down. It's inkless. You don't need any like whatever, like the ink for it, and you can just print it out. It's simple, it's easy to use. You can create loads of memories with your friends for $24.99. People would, you know, look into it. It's a high perceived value item offer. But at €50, I would just scroll past it. If you can't source it for like €10, €11, I'd just move on from it. Again, you can search that product up on AliExpress, see what it's, you know, selling for, and then you can go off that. Now, just scrolling through even more.
I don't think I've ever been on.
Again, another $100 item. You can see down here.
I finally found the best men's bracelet collection. Fortune.
Stay away from it. It's just
fashion.
Thinning hair, thinning eyebrows, non-existent lashes, some of the joys of being over 50. And that's why...
That is a very good ad. See the way it hooked you in? It was like, okay, it didn't hook you in because you're not...
Thinning hair.
You know, probably not the demographic, but for the people who are over 50 who have thinning hair...
Thinning eyebrows, non-existent lashes.
No lashes.
Some of the joys of being over 50.
And look who's speaking, someone that they could relate to, you know, some of the joys over 50. So people over 50, it's a huge market. You know, how many people have thinning hair? That, of course, every person who is thinning hair over, 50 or whoever their market is wants fuller hair. So this product obviously is selling towards that. So.
And that's why when I find a product that slows the process and helps me feel more confident in my own skin, I'm all over it. And I have been all over this Volume Care Mascara from Rumi Cosmetics.
So look, it solves a big enough problem, right? People are obviously insecure or want more fuller lashes or fuller hair, whatever it may be. So it's a good product. Look at the website. This is what I mean about a good, strong, quality website. Look at the images. Very high quality. Before and afters. Wow, you know what I mean? Simple. They have their offer. They have their reviews. They have simple. They don't have a bunch of text. It's clean text. Like, it's not messy, scammy stuff. You know, as seen in, trusted, very high quality reviews, very well structured website, video reviews, frequently asked questions. It looks like a quality website. This probably is like a dropshipping website, but it looks like a branded website that's probably doing like $1 million a month. You know what I mean? Versus a scammy website that just doesn't look that good. So it is probably selling very well. So it's something you could have a look into. If it solves a big enough problem. So yeah, now you're getting a rough kind of idea of what you need to be looking for. Again, these stuff, it's not appealing. It doesn't look.
This is what would happen.
This is just like
to you if you took Evervision.
You know, it's like, what is that? Again, another hand massager. You know, these products are just gimmicky products.
Okay, this might be my new
wow, that looks so
favorite
cool.
way to listen to music. This is the Morning Blues Record R1, and it literally turns your...
Right? It looks cool, but how many people are going to invest? This is definitely not $36.
Playlist to
that heavy and that weight. If it was $36, maybe it's something you could look into, but it's probably not. Your cost of goods will probably be like $50 on this product, just because the weight of it. But yeah, you get what you're kind of looking for. These products, yeah, maybe around Valentine's Day, and then that's it. It's 20th of January right now, so that's why they're probably listing this, but it's not a long-term product. You get the gist of it. You're looking for these products. Now, understand the validation method. Think outside the box with it. Don't just be stuck on the products that I showed you about. Like, think outside. Change up your filters. Have a look on other sites. Have a look on Amazon. Have a look on just scrolling on Instagram. Think of what would sell. This is the main thing that you need to look for. Right? Is it selling? Watch the validation videos again. Can it solve a big enough problem? Would people actually invest into a product like this? And then, you know, does it have a lot of content? And then when you create a good offer around it and your ads are super and it really connects with the customer, boom, that's how you make the sale. So that's all you need to look for when you're looking for products. You know, does this, like, this is the question. Does this product have a big enough problem, or does this product provide a solution to a big enough problem where people would invest money into the product? That's all. Again, does this? No.
Okay, pause for a sec. This little paint by numbers kit has me in a choke.
Let me ask you something. How many times have you been in the middle of a workout and had to stop to pull up your leggings? Or how many times have you been so...
Does this? Maybe, but not so much as like something different. Does this? No. Does this? No. Go through it. Think outside the box. If your winning hunter is becoming, you know, you're not seeing a lot of stuff, you're just seeing a lot of junk, then come over and mess around with the filters. For example, I'll put on the minimum spend, $40. I'll change this back to last seen. And then I'm going to get some new products. Continue anyway. I'm skipping over all these. Again, what does it really solve? What does that solve? I'm looking for these.
If you have heavier breasts and can no longer tolerate an underwire, you need this. This Honey Love bra is so... The strap...
Possibly something I could look into if, you know, if that's a big enough problem. It seems like, you know, women definitely have that problem. Could be a good solution.
Okay, if you wear glasses in winter, you need...
You wear glasses.
Products, right now it's skiing season, so it's seasonal products. Wouldn't even look into it.
This is
Yeah, and sometimes you're gonna have days where you're not finding lots of products. It's not the end of the world. You know, just think outside the box, change up your filters. Right now, we're not seeing anything great with these new search terms, which is no problem whatsoever. Just change them up. Keep at it. You need to get hours under this game. You need to get hours and hours of product research and find exactly what is working. So mess around with it. You're gonna be sitting there 1-2 hours. You probably won't find anything. That's no problem. Then the next day you'll probably find about 10 products in the space of an hour. All you need is one. So remember that. But remember, like, it doesn't matter what you're actually looking at. Just understand: does this product sell? Does it have a big enough angle? Can I sell this well? Can I make a good offer? Can I make good content around it? You know, does it again solve a big enough problem? That's all you really need to look into. Make sure to look at these filters, change them up every now and then if you're not finding a lot of stuff. But other than that, that's pretty much the product research video done. Just a few tips as well. You know, we've seen literally people not find products just on Winning Hunter. Like, they found other products because of their validation method. So use the validation method. It's really important. You can literally find products everywhere. Amazon, Instagram, and so on and so on. So yeah, just stay consistent, get the hours in. It's going to take some time to build up that product, you know, so you can find these products much easier, but you know, that's fine. Now, next video is going to break down how to, or doing live product research. So we go through a few examples and whatnot. So that's a very important video that I recommend you guys watch.
What is happening, people? I just want to quickly go over niches. What is a niche? What niches should you go down? So on, so on. Basically, why I'm making this video is because the examples that we gave was in the beauty niche. When we were doing the product research, I was looking for products in the beauty niche, but don't limit yourself just to the beauty niche. The main thing you need to understand is, first of all, what is actually a niche? A niche is just basically like a different category of products to sell. For example, if you're selling car parts, it's in the car niche. If you're selling a beauty product, it's in the beauty niche. Baby products are in the baby niche. Do you know what I mean? So it's just a different category, let's just say. Now, I don't want you guys to get stuck on just one niche, looking only in one niche. The main thing you need to look for is not what product niche do I, run in. You need to look at, what are my actual validation points? My validation points are what? Does the product actually sell? Does it have enough content? Does it solve a big enough problem? Does it have a big enough market? And is it actually selling? So if a product comes and it matches all those validation points, then it doesn't really matter what niche it's in. So think outside the box with these things, right? Don't limit yourself just to one niche. Don't just look at for one specific product. Look outside the box. Look at all products and see which one actually, solves the biggest problem in your eyes. Which one has more validation points. And if it's in the home goods niche instead of the beauty niche, it doesn't matter. You can have a look into that niche as well. So don't just limit yourself to the one niche, because there's so much potential in other niches as well. Think about it, right? There's billions being sold in the garden niche, billions being sold in the home niche, so on and so on. You just have to think, what are people, what would people really invest in? What would people actually buy into? And then just go from there. But don't limit yourself. The main thing you need to understand is looking at the validation points. If a product has 5 of those validation points that I just explained there earlier, and it's not in the beauty niche, it's not the end of the world. It's actually a good sign, you know what I mean? So just think outside the box. Don't just stick to the one niche, and you'll be able to broaden that product eye. You'll be able to see more products there.
Now you know how to find products, and you now know why they actually sell. So now we're going to go ahead and look to build offers and build out the actual websites for the products that you find. So let's jump straight into it. We're going into module 4 now. Let's go.
What's happening, people? So now we have the product that we're going to test. And, I was just thinking, what is the best way that I can show you how we do the testing so you guys fully understand it? So what I'm going to do is do step by step on how I would test. I'm just going to film everything, and then you can get what you need from it. Now, a really important thing is you need to use the resources. So if you don't get anything, any part of this video here, doesn't matter if it's a small thing or a big thing, make sure to send it into the group, and then myself or someone else will answer it. Because if you don't do it and you're confused, maybe a day or two you're trying to figure it out, what's the point in that? So just send in a message and someone will get back to you. Okay, so this is the product that we're going to go with. It's not validated, so we're taking a bit of a risk, but I want to get a test up to show you guys that this is extremely possible. And the product, I like it. I know collagen works in the past, and I know the product cost will be cheap on it. So let's just jump straight into it, and how are we going to start off this test? So first thing first, we need to get the price from AliExpress. Now we have a tool where we can just search the image by AliExpress, and it will show us all the AliExpress listings with this image. But this is a Shrine theme, so they've disabled the right click function, so I cannot get it. So what are we going to do? We're just going to search up the name, vegan collagen, and then we found it here. So we're just going to right click it and search goods on AliExpress by this image. Now you can get this tool on the Chrome store. It's free. Just search by AliExpress and just download one of them. So what this is going to do is going to pull up all the AliExpress listings with the same images. So we're just going to open one or two of the same. This one, this one. So with these two listings, what we're going to do is we're going to be able to get product images, and what we're going to be able to do is kind of get a rough price from our supplier. Okay, so based off these two prices, $3.55 and $2.48 wholesale, let's say we're going to get the product cost on average for about €3, and then add a bit of shipping, which will be about €2. So here are the prices that I've just drafted up. Now these are not the exact prices. You'll get the exact price by sending this AliExpress listing to a supplier, and he'll give you the exact price for the countries you want to ship to. If you do not have a supplier, just message me privately and I'll give you access to mine. But going off these prices, one piece is going to be €5, two pieces will be 7, 3 pieces 9, and 5 pieces will be 12. Now, what is this kind of sheet? It's just a break-even ROAS kind of calculator that I made, and you can make this, really easy yourself. You can even go online and use a free online break-even ROAS tool. It's just to get your break-even ROAS. If you want it, just again message me privately and I can give you access to this. Basically, the country that we're selling to, US, the total price will be $19.95. This is our cost of goods as we entered in, how much for each price or for each pieces. So I'll make this easier to understand. This is going to be 1 piece, 2 piece, 3 piece, and 5 piece. Then the transaction fee that Shopify charges, total costs, gross margin after everything. This is how much we make per order if we sell this amount of items. And before advertising costs, gross margin in percentage, and then the break-even ROAS. So what we're going to do now is try draft an offer. What works well is buy 1, get 1 free at a low price, or buy 2, get 1 free with one piece being really low cost, normally around $9. If this doesn't make sense, I'm going to explain it and show you right now. So remember, with the offers, you need to make an irresistible offer. When a customer goes onto your website and sees this offer, they need to be, whoa, I need to get this. So if we go to our competitor here, they're selling a buy 1, get 1 free for $29.99. What happens if we could do a buy 1, get 1 free for $9.99? $20 cheaper. How many people are we going to take from them? Yes, of course, we're going to reduce our margins, but we're going to make up for that. Now, $9.99 will be a bit on the lower side. Our margins will be very tight, so most likely won't do that. But now we're going to draft an offer and see what works best. Okay, going into the pricing now. Let's say we sell 1 piece for $9.99 plus $9.99 shipping. We're going to be left with around $19.98, which leaves us with a 1.4 break-even ROAS with 14 in profit, which is good. Then we can do 2 pieces. We could do $14.99 plus $9.99 shipping again. It's going to leave us with $24.98, which leaves us with 17 in profit. If we're going to do the buy 1 for $9.99, if we're going to do the buy 1 piece for $9.99 and the buy 2 get 1 free, which is going to equal to 3 pieces for $19.99 plus shipping, we're going to be left with $29.98, which leaves us with a good margin. And then the 5 piece would be an extra, so the 5 piece would be a buy 2, get 3 free. And then the 5 piece, we could sell it for $29.99. Now, if this doesn't make sense, don't worry. Just stick around and you'll see what I mean after this. So these are the break-even ROASes if we sell it for all these prices. And what looks like the best offer? Again, we can either run a buy 1, get 1 free, which would be the starter price would be $16.95 as a gross margin. And then a buy 2, get 3 free. So now that we have all the prices and the profits that we'll make for each kind of quantity that we sell, we can kind of see which offer looks the most appealing, where we're getting the most margin, but we're making the best offer. So straight off the bat, one piece for $9.99 would leave us with 14 in profit, which is decent. But if we sell it for $14.99 and we do a buy one get one free, we're left with $16.90, which is even, it's more profit, and the offer seems a bit better because they're selling a buy one get one free for $29.99. So we've done the break-even ROAS, we've done the product cost, and yes, we can look at it and say we can make a decent offer. We can either go a buy one get one free here and take 17 per item, or we can do a better offer at buy one. Now, most people actually take the 3-piece, and I'll explain why, but they have decent margins, and I believe this could work. So, on to the next step, which is going to go and create the website and import this product and get it up and running. Go into online store, and you want to get a theme called Shrine. I use this theme called Shrine. It's perfect. It's, you know, a lot of people use it, but you can make it has everything. You can make it in a way where it looks good, it looks professional, it looks like a branded website, and it's great for testing and even scaling on it as well. Okay, so we're on the home page now. So what I'm going to do is download this theme. I'm going to add it somewhere. You can download it, import it into your own Shopify, and you're going to have the full template. And really all you have to do is what I'm going to do now. Just come in and replace your own products just so it's your own. And it looks fine. Quick, get it up, done. So the first thing what we're going to do is just keep the home page nice and simple. Doesn't really matter. This stuff really doesn't matter. And I don't like the red, so I'm going to change it to a green to match our product. Now you can just keep this stuff on a default color, so you don't have to keep on changing the colors. But I was testing a different product on it, and red's just not going to go with this brand. It's going to look really odd, so I'm going to change it here. Doesn't matter what colors you choose, really. And that looks already a lot more branded. And we're going to come in here and go to products, and we're going to create a new template and call it whatever your product name is. Collagen Icium. Again, this doesn't really matter. And we're going to base it on this lounge set, which was a product we tested in the past. Doesn't matter. It's just basically going to copy what we used before. And here's the product page. Again, this is for a lounge set. We're going to change everything up so it matches with our serum. But this is basically the template. So what do we need first? Just get all these colors to match our product. So here we go. We now have a branded web page that was made in less than 5 minutes from taking one of our templates and just editing in the and changing the colors. So what we're going to do now is start replacing this information. Like this review, for an example, it's not with the right product. This GIF, all this stuff we're going to start to remove. And this is how we can get up 3 to 4 product tests a day, because we just have to move at speed. Now, do you need to do 3 to 4 product tests a day? No. But definitely do as quick and as many as you can. If you want a really good branded website, again, check out these guys, Try Jill. It's really simple. I'll explain what is working and why it's working. It's really simple. Images are good. Offer is there. Straight into what's included in your set. And then you're going to have like 1 to 2 big kind of columns, like descriptions, just explaining what it does with the GIFs. You have to understand people don't really want to read. They just want to get in and see what it does. This is why the GIFs are amazing. I went onto this website. I understand what it is just from the images alone. You don't want to have a big chunky website full of words, because no one's going to read it. So in and out. Images are amazing. These things, you have add to cart buttons that you just, if you want it, you can just press add to cart. Again, just explains what it is, and then straight into FAQs. It's a simple product. They don't need to go boom, boom, boom. Buy this product. Here's a full list of all the descriptions. Like, it just, no one really cares, to be honest with you. Then straight into their reviews. Boom. Amazing. This website here is doing like 8 figures. So if you want an 8-figure website, come on and have a look at tryjill.com. Same as Bleem. Great use case. Straight into an offer here, claim offer, mixed in with their testimonials at the start. Brilliant videos just showing what it is, before and afters, more testimonials, reviews, and then done. It's not 4 or 5 scrolls long full of nonsense. It's straight into it. Reviews, testimonials, what it does, use case, boom. You know what I mean? So this is what we're going to do here. Jump straight in. We're going to have our testimonial review here, what it does, a little quick ours versus them. We can even add another one straight into more reviews, FAQs, and we don't even need this contact form. We can just get rid of it here. Now we can add more reviews like these ones here, like a full review carousel. But when I'm testing lots of products, I want to get them up quick. I don't actually add the reviews till after I validate the product. Will they help? Absolutely. And what you can do is get an app called Rivio or IVYO, and it's going to look like this. You can just add it in here into your Shrine theme, and it's going to look like this. It's going to display all your customer reviews, but we're not going to use reviews for the moment, so we'll just get rid of that. These reviews, these custom reviews that we're going to make here, they're perfect. Again, it's not for our product, so we have to change it. Now this is where we're going to use a lot of ChatGPT to just get past this website and get it done and dusted. Now you can use ChatGPT, or another tool you can use is DeepSeek, and basically you just tell it what you need. So now onto this part, I'm going to literally go back to DeepSeek and tell it to make me a heading. Paste it in here. Say goodbye to tired eyes. We can use this actually as the heading. Say goodbye to tired eyes. Someone comes on and says, oh wow, I have tired eyes. This relates to me, and they can start reading. They can see the GIF now that we're going to upload, and boom, it looks good. So just shorten this down because this is a bit long. Again, no one wants to read. Keep it as short as possible. So that's good. We just changed it up. Now we're going to go here and add a little call to action, which is going to relate back to the product. So if they want it, after reading that, they can just press this button. Get your free pair today. Let's do get your free serum today. And yeah, that's pretty much done. Again, we can always take inspiration from our competitor, which is here. The Secret Youthful Radiant Eye Skin. They're basically just going over how it works. They're making a bold statement: firm, lifted and hydrated eyes skin in just 3 days. That is a bold statement. So that is how you make a website in the space of 20 minutes from start to finish. Looks good. We're still missing the GIF. We're going to do the GIF now while we gather the content for the creatives. And yeah, so we'll knock in 2 in 1. And yeah, that's a perfect product page. That's going to be great for testing. And yeah, once we get the content for the creatives, we'll make a GIF. I'll show you how to make a GIF, import it into here, and then that's the website completely done. So we'll get into the creative video now.
So that was offers and the website building. So now you know how to make an offer and why offers are so important, as well as building out websites. So now we're going to go on to creatives, which is probably the most important part of this whole module. Creatives are really, really important in this e-commerce game. Now our creative process is only available to our Faith First members at the moment. It's very, very in-depth. We break down pretty much everything, and there's a lot of moving parts to it. So for this free course, we're not going to be able to include that, but what I will do is I'm going to take a live call from our actual group, and I'm going to show you exactly us breaking down a winning creative, which you guys will get a lot of value from. Now, if you're looking to take it an extra step further, reach out to me at Ushiniri on my Instagram and message me the word creatives, and I'll send you a guide specifically about making creatives.
Now, I have a really good example that I literally just scrolled upon of a guy selling, it's a bigger brand selling like perfumes, but they're not the actual like expensive perfumes. So they do a cheaper variation, and the way they explain it is very good. So I'm going to play that now in a minute. I'm going to show you how you can structure these ads, but first you have to understand what metrics you need to look at. So again, 30% hook rates. Set the hook rates up. It's a custom metric inside Facebook. If you don't understand what that is, watch the video that we made about it, and then ChatGPT it if you don't fully understand it, and then you should be able to understand that fully. But your hook rate is the percentage of people that will stay after 3 seconds. So our range, we've seen a great range. Anything over 30% is very healthy. That means 30% of the people will stay after 3 seconds. That shows that your hook is strong, and anything really below that 30% is a weak kind of hook, and you need to go ahead and understand it, break it down, why it's not working and why is it working, and then go from there. As well, click-through rates. What are click-through rates? This is the amount of people that will click through from seeing your ad versus actually going to your website. So for example, 100 people see my ad, 10 people will click through. That means I have a 10% click rate. 100 people see my ad, five people click through. I have a 5% click rate. So anything over a 3% click rate is good. If it's below a 3%, then you need to work on first of all, it's the ending of the creative and it's your offer, and it's either three things, right? It's your offer, the ending of your creative, and the middle of your ad is just too long. So these are ways to increase that 3% click rate. So again, how you could focus on like a weak click rate could be like a 2%. So if your ad is looking at a 2% click rate, you need to go ahead and see, okay, what is actually going wrong with my ad? Is my hook rate good enough? If it is, then it's not my hook. Is it maybe the middle of my ad? Am I mentioning too much boring stuff? Is my script just too slow? Is my voiceover too slow? Then you could get rid of and make it quicker and then go ahead and run it again with a different ad. And then if it improves, then it was the middle. But if it still doesn't improve, one of the biggest ways to improve your click-through rate is with your offer and more urgency in the end of the creative, because most people don't click through because they're just not that interested. Now, everyone would click through if the offer was there. So you need to really display it and push it out to them. So breaking down into creative structures, how do you actually create a good offer or create a good ad? When you're normally running a hook, which is going to be your entry into the actual ads, your body, which is going to be the middle of the ad, and then your call to action, which I'm talking about, which is the last bit of your ad. So simple three-step structure that you need to understand. How a good like ad now is structured, like we'll break it down as what is an example to a hook. Stories and people relating to the actual ad. It's if you can implement that into your hook, because think about it, people see thousands of ads every single or hundreds of ads every single day. And it's the same thing, here's my product or here's this or here's that. They want to listen and they want to relate to the actual ad. So for example, people they're targeting one specific problem, so they'll put that actual problem in the hook and be like, for example, are you struggling with that? That's a terrible hook, but do you know what I'm trying to say? They relate to the actual creative. So when they see it, they stop and they can be like, wow, I'm going to show you an example right now just because I want you to understand what a good hook is. For example, you've probably seen a lot of these videos where it's like a third-party POV and it's just a real like scroll stopper, for example. They don't relate to this one. This one's more of a like a literal scroll stopping hook where they have to watch a video to see what happens. So it's what are these guys doing?
What are these dudes doing?
Bottle like this has a dirty secret.
And then they come into, more of the education side, and then they start moving into the body. So the hook is more of a scroll stopper hook, and this is why you have to be creative with these things. You need to relate. You need to help customers relate to your brand, or you need to just completely stop them in their tracks. Like I forgot what the word is called, but when you're like just doom scrolling and then boom, something just pops out and then it just stops and your full attention goes to that. That's exactly what this kind of ad is. And then what this will do is it breaks into the story, it breaks into the actual problem, and I'm going to show you the full ad now in a minute, and then it gives a solution, and then it hooks them with the call to action, which is a very strong offer. So going back to this, hooks, make sure it either stops them in their path, it relates to them, which is probably one of the most important things, relate to the customer, because they'll watch longer, they'll trust it more, and they'll be more engaged into the actual ad. So that's how you can structure hooks. Again, go on to Winning Hunter if you don't understand how to make a good ad or get good inspiration. Ask around, and then ask around first in the group chats, and then go to Winning Hunter. Sort by the biggest ads. Go to Winning Hunter, just scroll through and see which ads are spending the most, and then take inspiration. Why is their ads working? And then secondly, you come into your body, which is then explaining what the problem is. Explain, okay, here's your problem and here's the solution that we have. And I'm going to break it down into the video now so it makes sense. But let them know and educate them as well. A lot of people will sell products that not everyone understands what it is. So you have to educate the customer and educate why this product exists and why they should get it. And again, I'll explain it. Here's a great example is this, I think it's called Doopies or something, but they sell basically the same aftershave as these expensive ones. And they educate very well in the ad, and they'd be like, all these expensive perfume brands that are $500, they all use the same ingredients, and there's a sneaky way, but you can, as long as you have the formula, there's no patent problems or something like that. This is what they said.
So you're basically, you can buy the stuff off them. It's the same smells and everything, just without the branding, and it's like 80% off. And then people are like, whoa, you know what I mean? And it doesn't even solve a big enough problem. It's just, it's more of an offer-based product, but they hook very well. It relates to them. They're educated, and then they have a solution, and then they have the call to action, which is at the end. So that's very important. So that's body. Remember, explain the product, introduce why your product actually solves the problem, and then done. And then call to action again, as I was explaining up here. How you create a strong call to action is bring in urgency, bring in offers, and bring in social proof. That's it. That's all you have to do. Boom. That's a strong call to action. It's a strong body, and it's a strong hook. Now, breaking down this video, I'm just going to skip through it because it's very good.
What are these dudes doing?
Bottle like this has a dirty secret. I'm going to show you. Over 50.
So first of all, that's a very strong hook. It's about 5, 6, 7 seconds, and then it leaves the customer. It does not feel like an ad whatsoever. It feels like one of these educational videos. And then yeah, I'm actually interested in finding out more about this, what this video actually is, and then it breaks down and it educates the customer.
50 billion bottles of perfume bought around the world every year. What's inside that bottle? A secret the industry hopes you'll never discover. That's one of the reasons we made this. You see, scent formulas can't be patented, meaning
right? So it educated it educated the customer. 50, however many billions of bottles of perfume are sold every single day or every single year. And here's the thing that not everyone knows, and now it's going to break down that the formula can't be patented, so or whatever. So you can go ahead and technically make the same formula in perfume or whatever it's doing. So it's educating the customer, and then this is what they're doing. So the solution is to the expensive perfumes. Listen, if you just decide not to buy the branding of whoever's perfume it is, you can get the exact same smell without the branding, and you pay 80% less. And 90% of people will go ahead and do that because they actually don't care about the branding.
anyone with the right ingredients and skill can recreate the same scent, the same richness, warmth, depth, without paying for the logo on the bottle. According to perfumers and industry chemists, formula inside most bottles is just a fraction of what you pay for. The rest goes into marketing, packaging, everything except the scent itself. We're in a scent crisis. And let's be honest, most luxury fragrances stopped being about the scent a long time ago. So we did the opposite. We took the world's most iconic fragrances, Creed
See that? So they took
Virgin Island Water, Oud Wood.
So they educate the customer, then they built up the story so you can relate to it, and they're like, yeah, well, I wanted this new Tom Ford, but it's too expensive. It's $300 for a bottle. I don't want to pay that. And then they explain that all these big brands, they've recreated them, and you can get them for 80% off. And what they did is they hooked you in first of all, then they gave the problem, which is expensive perfumes. Then they educated you on why they're expensive, and then they gave you the solution is, we can literally make the same thing. It's perfectly okay. This is what they said, and then you'll be able to get it for 80% off. And then all they have to do is literally finish off with a good strong call to action.
We tore them down because luxury shouldn't belong to the few. It should be felt by everyone. This is Dupay.
So it's a very strong ad. It's like, it should be felt by everyone. Everyone should have access to these perfumes for not expensive. And to be honest with you, their call to action, it was a different style of ad. The call to action is not very strong. They don't have nothing saying, listen, go ahead and get yours now. But they don't need to, because everything else is it's so strong. Like the hook, the story, the solution is so good that people will just automatically click through. But if they somehow integrated a call to action in this as well, I can guarantee they would get so much more clicks as well. So understand that. Hook, story, and then educate about your problem, solution to your problem, and then call to action. Simple as.
So now you know what an actual winning creative looks like. So now we're going to be able to move on to the actual testing strategy. So in these next modules, I'm going to break down our full testing strategy so you can take inspiration from. Right, what is happening, people? Before we jump into the actual testing modules, we need to first see which market are we going to test in. So you need to decide which market are you actually going to choose to sell your product in. Now there's a bunch of different markets you can go ahead and test in. You're not limited to. This is your business. You can choose, whichever market you want to sell in. Just go ahead, do your research. There's a couple of resources in the Discord that I want you to know about first. So if you go to the FAQ section, search up, markets, I kind of break it down for you. What's the benefit of this market, so on, or just the kind of ins and outs, what you need to know about these different markets. But
Normally, there's a big five market, which a lot of dropshippers and a lot of e-commerce brands, sell in. This is going to include the big five markets: US, UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. I'm not saying sell there, but one way a lot of people are doing is they pick one of those markets and dive into it. If you try selling to the big five right now, you're not going to be able to relate to all those markets. You're not that experienced yet, right? The big five, you're competing against brands that are doing 7, 8 figures a year, 9 figures, 10 figures a year. So they obviously understand a bit more about e-commerce than you. So you need to go ahead and think outside the box. Where do I have a competitive advantage? So most of the time, if you just pick one market and dive into it and, make sure everything is towards that market, you should probably see a bit more success because you're speaking directly to that market instead of 5 different markets. Do you get what I mean? So when you're deciding to pick a market, again, I'm going to link the market research in below as well. Pick a market, see which one you think you could dive into, see which one you think has the best potential, and dive into one. Right? Don't try to test 5 different markets at the same time. For example, Australia and New Zealand, they're kind of literally the same market, right? They're right next to each other. So that could be something that you could test together. But if you're testing the US, Australia, and everything together, it's going to be a bit different, right? Different markets. One country is halfway across the world. So one country's in summer, for example, and the other's in winter. So it's going to be a bit, they're not really going to relate. As well, like Americans don't really sound like Australians. Do you know what I mean? So even just the wording of your creatives, if you're targeting all 5 countries together or multiple countries together, you can only speak to one kind of country at a time, right? Because you can't have a voiceover or you can't have an ad that speaks to 2 different markets at the same time. So what you could look into is just testing one market at a time and diving into it and just sticking and really making it work. Again, have a look at the markets below. It's going to break down and really help you make a decision. Again, this is up to you to make a decision which you think it has the best potential to do it. Again, everyone sells in every market, right? There's sales being sold in every market. So you just need to dive into one, probably focus in on the one because you're going to be able to make the most of it and maximize your chances of actually building a brand and then go from there. Again, US and Canada is probably one of those bigger markets, means a lot more competition. But you can start in one of the smaller markets, maybe like Australia, New Zealand, test there, validate your products, and then kind of expand and then go from there. Again, don't be small-minded with it. Just think outside the box. Think what you what you think has good potential, and then go from there. But check out the text underneath this video because it's going to break down those markets for you to understand a bit better.
What's happening, people? So into the Facebook testing campaign, and this is a simple strategy that we can use to scale to 5,000, 10,000 in spend, whatever it is. So come to your Facebook ads library, come to your Facebook ads manager. I was saying ads library so much earlier. So come to your ads manager. You can set up your own Facebook account. You can get an agency account, or you can get a business manager of someone else. The services you can pay for them. If you need an agency account or a BM, just let me know and I can send you over a few people that can get you one. So let's go and make one quickly. Now I'm going to make this giving you how to set up a Facebook pixel and stuff like that. If you want, you can use an app called SB Multi Facebook Pixel and API. It's really simple. Set it up. It's going to walk you through how you do it. So I'm not going to go over that now. We're going to set up a simple CBO. Just one CBO, broad CBO at €100. So let's just name this CBO test serum. Excuse me. Advantage campaign budget is on, and we're going to set it to 150, €100, 150, €150. Doesn't matter. Let's do $100. Keep it nice and simple. So €100, $100, whatever. Now, we are only going to be testing the US on this account because the way I have this store set up, I can only sell to the US on this one. So if you're normally running, you can do the big 5, which is Australia, UK, US, Canada, and New Zealand. You can do US and Canada. You can do US and Canada. You can do US, whatever you want. I'm just going to stick to the US for the moment, just simply the US. And we're going to do this broad one. This is your ad set name. So come down here and choose your pixel. Now I have to blur it out, but your data set, choose whatever pixel or data set that you want to use. Remember, connect it to your store and use that one. then come out here and choose purchase as your conversion event. Don't mind this. The reason why it says this is because you don't have any sales or it hasn't tracked any sales yet. It's okay. Schedule for the next day. So it's 12 a.m. which will be the 29th tomorrow. And again, I'm just going to do the US. You can choose the big 5. I recommend the big 5 is okay. Or you can just do US and Canada, up to you. I'm going to press use original audience. I'm just going to leave everything broad. You can leave it on advantage plus audience, doesn't really matter. Okay, let's do that. Now set the time. Now the time's set. Now remember, I'm just doing the US. You can do the big 5. I'd most likely do the big 5 if I were you. Or you can even do US and Canada. I wouldn't just test US on its own. Again, I'm doing it because the way the store's set up, I'm only able to target one currency at the time. So I'm going to do US. Advantage audience, just leave it. We're going to just do broad. We're going to let Facebook do all the targeting. So leave everything. And now this is where we're going to upload our ads. So skip down to media and upload all 5 ads. Now make sure to add 1 ad per ad group. So once they're uploaded, add 1 ad per ad group. So just simply choose one of the ads and upload it here. Next you have primary text, headline and description, which we're going to use AI for again. Come down here. We are going to quickly just add in our URL, and then you can preview your URL if you press here, and it should open up here. Make sure you do that just so everything's okay. Go and add the descriptions now, which is important. So primary text first, and tell it create a Facebook. Let's see what this does, if it gives us a good enough. Okay, so this is what it generated, and this is perfect. So what we're going to do is just copy this over and paste it in here. And then it has a lot of emojis, so we're just going to start removing these. Okay, so it's kind of like a review, and then 5 emoji benefits. So it's kind of like a review, and then 5 emoji benefits. And then a call to action, ready to transform your under eyes. And then we can say, buy 1, get 1 free. And then just paste in your URL. Now I'm going to have to blur it out because this is a store that we use. Now once your ad is set up, so now you're going to duplicate this ad group 4 more times, so we have 5 ads altogether. Now if you have 3 ads, you want to have 3 ad groups, 1 ad per ad group. Edit each ad set just, so I can understand it better. We have broad 2, broad 3, broad 4, and broad 5. So once that's done, make sure to change out the ads so you have your 5 different ads in. So we have 5 ads here. It's going to be our second ad. We're going to import our third ad here. I'm just structuring this so when I look at the ad account and see which ad group has sales, I can say, oh, ad 3 has the sale. Then I'll click into ad 3 and I'll see which ad actually got the sale. I didn't know that this ad right here was ad 2. Do you get what I mean? Just import 5 different ads, or however many ads that you're doing. Let's say you're doing 3 ads or even 5 ads. Just make sure there's 1 different ad per ad group. So I structured 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different ad groups and 1 ad per ad group. Make sure they're different, and then you're ready to go. Now, once that's all set up, make sure your budget's again $100 and hit publish, and that's your ad ready to go. We're going to check back on it tomorrow, even the day after, and see how it does.
So that right there was our full testing strategy. So now when you actually test your products, you need to understand what metrics to actually look at and how do we actually scale these products to the next level. That's what we're going to be going over in this next module. It's about breaking out of that testing phase and scaling up your products. So we're going to jump into it right now.
Okay, so what's happening, people? Into the next video, and I want to talk about metrics and scaling. What do you do after your first day and second day of testing? So jumping into the ad account. Now this is a different ad account. The ad account is disabled, but I can show you this is just a 1-day test, and I'm going to show you what I would do based off these metrics. So first of all, you need to change your columns. Before, your columns would look like something maybe like this. We have all these weird things: impressions, CPMs, clicks, click-through rates, blah blah blah. I'll show you what a good column you need to structure this, because you need to see what you're doing. So come in here, delete everything that's not really needed,
and add these ones here. So you can just take it down. Again, I'm going to put it all into the document so you can just, have a look at it and then just copy and paste. And another thing I forgot to add is CPMs. So click-through rate, amount spent, purchases, cost per purchase, and your purchase ROAS is going to be your most important. And I'm just going to explain what they mean now quickly, briefly. And then, so you can always save this here. Just do used. Okay, so your click-through rate is basically the percentage of people that click from your ad to your website. So if your click-through rate is really low and your CPM is high, which will result in a high CPC, it could be a problem with your ad. It could be a problem with your offer and your creatives, and the product itself is just not in high demand. But if you have a decent enough CTR and a decent enough CPM, it's a good sign. Now this can be different, so you have to understand this. If you have a click-through rate of a 1%, but your CPMs are much lower, your CPM is how much it costs for 1,000 views. So let's say I have a $10 CPM, but my click-through rate's only 1%. I have a lower cost of getting 1,000 views, but my CTR is lower as well. That's okay. It just means your quality of traffic is less. So that's what metrics are. Again, in the document, I'm going to explain all the metrics so you can just go over them. But now we're going to get into scaling. So let's say for this product, our break-even ROAS is a 1.4. And on our two testing CBOs, one has a 1.6 ROAS and one has a 4.95. So based off this, again, it's going to be in the document, really simple for you guys. Just have a look and see what it is. Your break-even ROAS, you first have to understand, may be different to mine. You may have a 1.2, you may have a 1.6, you may even have a 2. So all these kind of keystones will change, but just base this off of 1.4. If you're on a break-even 2 ROAS and you have a 3 ROAS, then that's obviously good. So you just put one and one together. Okay, so basically, our break-even ROAS is a 1.4, and our ROAS on this CBO is a 5, meaning it's very profitable. So the ROAS is above 2. So what we're going to do is bump it. We can duplicate the budget. We can go from 150 to 300. Now, if your testing campaign's 100, you can go from 100 to 200, depending on what you want to do. Depending on how aggressive you want to be, you can even go, from 100 to 250, or you can go from 150 to 450, or 400, or 350. To keep it nice and simple, what I would do, let me draw it here. If your break-even ROAS is a 1.4 and you're getting a 2 plus ROAS on your campaign, I would just duplicate the budget. Simple as. If your ROAS is a 1.7 to a 1.9, let's say this one for an example, let's say this was a 1.7 to 1.9, and your break-even ROAS is a 1.4, meaning you're profitable. You're not extremely profitable like this one down here, but you're still profitable instead of 100% like over here. Don't worry, I'm going to put it all into the document again so you can just have a look, so you just understand what I'm trying to do here. I'm basing off my return on ad spend, and this is how we can scale. Now, if my break-even ROAS is a 1.4 to a 1.7, basically break-even or a tiny bit profitable, I could just leave it. I wouldn't touch it. I would just leave it into the next day and see how it does. And if it's still break-even tomorrow, I'd leave it again. Break-even is not bad because you're not losing any money, but you're not making any money, but you can always improve on it. So break-even is not bad. If this starts to dip below and the next day, for an example, or in general, if your testing campaign is like under your break-even, so you're losing money, it's not entirely bad, but it depends on how unprofitable you are. So let's get into this. Now, this is kind of cutting and what you should do if your testing campaign doesn't really bring back as much sales as you want it to. Okay, so let's say your ROAS is a 1 to 1.4. You're only losing maybe €20, €30 on a €100 test. That is not bad. Break even is not bad because you have to understand, right? If you're losing a tiny bit of money and you're getting sales back on a website and a test that is not fully optimized, you can 100% improve. So what happens if you let this run again tomorrow, but then increase your creatives, make your offer better, and also make your website better? You have to see improvements. Now,
If it's a 1 to 1.4, I would just leave it again for the next day, see how it is. If it continues to stay the same, that's when I would start increasing my creatives, see if I can do anything better here. That's when I would see if I can improve my creatives, my offer, and my website. If your test is like getting a €50 CPA, if it costs you like €50 to get one sale and your ROAS is like a 0.5, depending at the end of the day, you know, if you're extremely unprofitable and depending on how much you really believe in this product, I would either quit it or I'd let it go for one more day. I would keep my eyes on it. You have to really, you don't want to waste money. You don't want to waste money on tests. If it's better to just move on from a test, then maybe it is. But remember, you can always improve on your creatives, your offer, and your website. You could go from a 0.5 ROAS to like a 1.5 ROAS. So you have to understand that. But if your test is coming in and you're spending like €100 on a test and you're bringing back like no sales or even like one sale, you're getting like a 0.3 ROAS, at the end of the day, I would just cut it and move on, because there's so many products out there, so many different chances you can really improve on. Again, your break-even ROAS, it might be different to mine. We're not going to have the same thing, so you have to understand this. But basically, what I'm trying to show you is, if your ROAS is good, you know, you can start to scale it. If it's not, you can hold back and let it go for another day. If it's really, really unprofitable, you can probably just cut it and move on. Really straightforward. So let's say our break-even ROAS is a 1.4. What are we going to do here? We're on a 5 ROAS. So for tomorrow, I'm going to go to 300. Now I can't change it because it's actually disabled, but I'm just trying to show you. And if I have a 1.6 here and my break-even's a 1.4, I'm probably just going to leave it for the next day. And then let's say this one spent $100 and it brought back no sales. I just turn it off and cut it. You have to understand as well, you're only changing these budgets at midnight, at the end of the day. So right now it's 1 o'clock. Let's say it hasn't spent fully. We're only $100. And yes, the ROAS is great, but I'm still not changing the budget till the next following day, meaning at midnight tonight. With Meta, I've always seen the performance is better when I change it at midnight compared to when I start bumping the budgets throughout the day. So what I would do is, let's say your campaign is crushing it at a 5 ROAS throughout the day, wait till midnight. If it's still above your 2 ROAS, then go ahead and duplicate the budget or double the budget. And same, do not start messing with the budgets throughout the day, because you can throw the campaign off and it's just not a fair test. So just wait till midnight always to change your budgets. But that is basically how you'd scale and cut based off, you know, day 1 and day 2 testing. Again, break even is not always bad. You can just let it run. And yeah, that's what the metrics are. Again, in the document below, it's going to explain everything. You can just go over it. But now I'm going to get into how you can improve and actually make a product work.
Right, what's happening, people? So a lot of you guys were asking for a metrics video, when to cut, when to scale. We're going to just break it down quickly, go over it, and we'll go from there. So day 1, let's keep this really simple. We set, this is for the big 5 for an example, right? So it's not smaller markets like you guys are doing, but it will work the same. We're just running a bit aggressive, more aggressive on the budgets. We were doing €100 a day instead of €50 a day. Either one is going to work fine. But yeah, we set this on €100 a day. We spent €100. At the end of it, we had 7 sales, €13 CPA, 2.36 ROAS. That's very profitable. Let's say this product was a break even of like 1.4, right? Let's make this a bit bigger. 1.4 is our break even. So anything above that, let's scale it. Anything below, let's cut it. Keep things really, really simple. So what are we doing the next day? If it's a 2.36, let's go ahead and double the budgets. For example, for 100, we're going to go to 200. For €50, we're going to go to 100. Now, we have to continue testing different things, right? This is where the other campaigns are going to come in. I'll talk to you about that in a bit. But let's say this product, or let's say the CBO was, if our break even is 1.4, let's say the ROAS was 1.5. Our CPA was like 21 euro, and it was 1.5. Anywhere between like 1.3 to 1.5, if it's around the break even range, you're not losing money. So let it go to second day. Let it go to third day. If you're break even by the end of those 2 or 3 days, then it's not, you don't cut it there. You go ahead and try make new ads and continue pushing up from there. Break even at the end of the day is not bad. It's really good because you're not losing money. Let's say if we ran this at €100 a day and we had a 0.5 ROAS, our CPA was like €50 on a €100 campaign. For example, for you guys, if you're running a €50 campaign, your CPA could be like €40.
then you could look to cut it. This is where the other metrics are going to come in. Again, if you see, I'm not looking at anything else except my ROAS and my cost per purchase. I don't care about my CPC. I don't really care about my CPMs. I don't really care about my CTRs. As long as you make good ads, your CTR is going to stay above like a 3%. If anything below a 3% and your ads are good, your product and your offer is probably not it. That's why it's lower. But if you're sitting at anything above a 3%, then it's not your creatives. First of all, I'm cutting based off my purchases. So if I'm not getting a lot of purchases, I'll just cut it off. But let's say I'm getting like 1 or 2 purchases and it's not really break even, but it's, getting a few sales. Then I'm going to come to my add to cart. A winning product we have seen has an add to cart rate, given it's like a product max like €30, and add to cart cost below €3. So for example, we were running at 99 cents per one add to cart. Now the tracking may be off, but it's under that €3. So that is good. So let's say I only got one sale. Let's say I ran this at €100 and I only got one sale. So it wasn't really profitable. It was really like unprofitable, but I had like an add to cart rate of under €3. I would let it go the next day. I would start to improve my offer because that is a good sign it's selling and there's people interested, but they just weren't pushed over the line. But let's say your cost per add to cart was like €15 and you only had one sale. Then that's extra validation to cut it, because a winning product will always have like a €3 CP or add to cart under that. Again, if it's a cheaper enough product. So if you're sitting on like a €12 or €15 add to cart cost, then it's most likely a lucky sale and you can just move on. Again, if you have one sale and you have a great add to cart cost, then let it go the next day. And then same as break even. If it was like a 1.4, let it go the next day again. You're not losing money, so it's not the end of the world. So going into day 2, February 5th, we went ahead and doubled the budgets. We tested a lot, so I'm going to break it down. We doubled the budgets of the first original CBO. Now the performance dropped, but it was break even, so we're not going to turn it off. It went from a 2.4 ROAS to a 1.4 ROAS, 1.49 ROAS. But our break even is 1.4, so it's actually good. Normally, when you start to increase budgets, your ROAS will drop because you're giving Facebook double the amount to spend. So of course it's going to drop back, but it's not the end of the world. It's actually very good because you're not losing money. So you can continue running this for the next 10 days, gathering data without losing money. That is good. What we did is we had a winning CBO on day 1, right? Let's say this is day 1 and CBO 1 has a 2.4 ROAS. So this is good. So what we're going to do is double the budget for day 2. And we're also going to start testing new ads because we're profitable. Let's not be slow with this. So CBO 1 is, the budget is doubled. And then we went ahead and made CBO 2 with 8 or whatever, however many ads, but 8x new ads based off the winner. This is how you scale. We're scaling vertically and we're scaling horizontally. Basically with new ads plus scaling the original campaigns that are working. So this is this one. CBO, this is the CBO 2 and this is CBO 1. So as you can see, don't even worry about this bottom CBO for the moment. I want to explain this. The new ads got a 3.2 ROAS on the first day. Meanwhile, the original campaign dropped down to a 1.5. So in this case, the next day I actually dropped this budget a bit back. But if I were you and you're break even, I would continue running this. But what are we going to do here for a 3.27 ROAS? We're going to go and double this budget. So we went from €100 to €200 on the next day. What is this one then here? CBO 10x ads gummies. This is the original campaign duplicated, nothing changed. All we did was add a new link. And you're talking about, what are you talking about, Ushi? CBO 3 was set up. We duplicated the original product and made a separate page testing a different offer. You guys have to understand. The game of testing, how you're going to break out is by finding the winning setup. So we were running obviously like a buy one, get one free. And then we went ahead and set up CBO 3. The same as CBO 1, nothing was changed. All we did was change the offer. We made a new page, a new product, the same thing. Everything was the same, but just changed the offer. And we did a buy two, get one free. Now it obviously didn't perform well. We spent €45. None of the metrics added up. Look, the add to cart rate was super high compared to the original campaign. Of yesterday. So we went ahead and just cut it and then moved on. So this test failed. End of the world. It's not the end of the world. Move on. It was cut. Let's look at what worked. CBO, the new ads got a 3.27 ROAS and the original one stayed. So in this case, I would have left this one at €200 a day. This was the original CBO. And then I would have actually duplicated this budget on the new ads. This is what we did on day 6, except we actually debumped the original campaign to €100. So now look, the original campaign that was doing really, really well has dropped down to a 1.18 ROAS, and it's pretty unprofitable. So we went ahead and cut it. But look at the the new ads. This is why you have to test new ads. We bumped it to €200, but yet it still sustained the 3 ROAS. That is amazing. So day 3, I can't even spell. Day 3, we had CBO1 and CBO2. This one, the original campaign wasn't doing so well, so we actually went ahead and cut it on the next day, but CBO2 was showing great signs. So what we're going to do is we're going to make another CBO, so again CBO3 for the next day. And because it's so well, we can even do another one, so CBO4. Now these are going to be ads, new ads, and ads testing the best ad on this one. For example, if CBO2, the best ad was ad number 5, we would go ahead and make a whole campaign making similar ads to number 5. And then we'd also make more different ads with different unique styles, given you're on day 2 or day 3 and you're profitable and you're seeing great success with this product. This is how we're going to scale horizontally. Meanwhile, we're going to continue upping those budgets. For example, we're €200 a day in spend, and it's giving us a 3 ROAS. Bump this stuff to 300, bump it to 400. So we'll see what we did on the next day. Now, again, for this one, we did cut it because it's starting to become unprofitable. But it's okay because we have one CBO which is taking all the spend. Now, we bumped it to 300, and now the performance dropped off to a 1.7. Now, it's still break even, so you can go ahead. We're looking at day 4. We have the CBO2. Everything else was off because it was unprofitable. CBO2 that had a 3 ROAS yesterday, we bumped to €300 a day, and now it was a 1.7. We should have made new creatives with this as well. Again, remember we were saying make those new creatives, but we bumped to 300 and it had a 1.7 ROAS. That is not bad. We could let this continue spending at 300 because we were still profitable, and we weren't actually losing money. We were just running at a tight or smaller margin. Facebook takes time to optimize. So go ahead and bump this. Meanwhile, we weren't making new ads. We should have made new ads. Remember that. So this could have been made on a lot of new ads. We could have had 2 CBOs going, but this is how you scale. So please understand this. This is all about cutting metrics and whatnot. Let's check day 5. Day 5, we have nothing because I think we actually swapped the ad accounts. But that's completely different. That was for like different reasons. Nothing to do with this. So if I had a 1.7 ROAS, go ahead and just let it do its thing. If it's not that profitable, don't make any changes to it. If it's really unprofitable, you turn it back off and then rerun it at a lower budget. But this is what you guys need to do. Let's say day 4 had CBO2 and it was like a 1 ROAS. It was really unprofitable. Or it had like a 0.8 ROAS throughout the day. So let's give it a different scenario. Day 4 CBO2, this winning CBO. Day 4 CBO2, and it had like a 0.8 ROAS at like 12 o'clock. And it was really unprofitable. Then go ahead and just turn it off. And then for day 5, given you're seeing success, turn it back on, but lower the budgets like by half. That's simple, done. And then the main thing you guys need to understand is day 1, if your break even is like, let's say 1.4 and you're getting like 1 sale, because I know a lot of you guys are stuck on this, and you get 1 sale, check your add to cart cost, check your CTRs, see if it's actually a potential product. If it is and it's not a lucky sale, let it go 1 more day. If it's really, really unprofitable, then just turn it off and look for the next product. But I hope that makes sense. Please, any other questions, just send them over.
So that right there is breaking down everything for you guys, from finding a product to actually scaling up a product. But I want to leave you guys with one more valuable video. This is going to be an actual live breakdown of myself and Davin, one of the members inside Faith First, who scaled to €40,000 in revenue in the space of less than 90 days of joining us, which was absolutely incredible. Now, this is not just some testimony of talking how good Faith First is, but he actually breaks down everything and why it worked for him and how he actually scaled that quick. So watch this one now. It's full of value, probably one of the most valuable pieces in this course.
Davin, appreciate you again for hopping on. That's 2 now in the last 24 hours.
Oh, good.
So yeah, all right. Davin's gonna take over now. So, bro, run me through it. So, you hit off. Just tell me the story, bro. You hit off now on I know you were testing for a bit longer. So the other guys in here, maybe coming up to their first, second, third test. I know you were looking around. You other guys hitting off on their 4th, 5th test, and you were like,
Oh,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you're on, you're like six or something, and then it hit off. What can you say about
Y-
that?
Yeah, like in all the videos, it's like Victor, I think his was his third, and like Declan was his first, Maddie was his third. Maddie had done loads before, but like in Fate first, like it's like a new system, but like he had on his third, and I was getting up to like my third, my fourth, and then I was
Yeah.
like, oh, what's happening? Like I didn't hit until my sixth, but like if you're even if it's like after your sixth, like don't worry, like it will come eventually. Like as long as you're still learning after each test,
Yeah.
um, that's
You
like
were,
what's most important.
yeah, you were moving quite quick with it, right? So you were like, you said, what, first week, second week, you had like what, two, three up, you were like getting them up quite quick, and then you what, took a break and stuff like that?
Yeah, so like I joined Faith first, and then like within like 9 days, I got my first test up, and then every week after that, I had a new one up. But then I took a break for like 3 weeks, came back, did my fifth test, and it was pretty good, but I was still kind of new. Then I did my sixth, and then it took off. So yeah.
Shit, yeah, okay, okay. So what can you say about just moving with speed? So I'd say a lot of guys now, they're on their first, second test. A lot of them actually coming into their first test, they're getting their, they're trying to perfect it maybe, they're trying to spend a bit too long. What would you say in that area? Because I know you move with speed with it.
Yeah, like the main thing is like don't like try perfect it like your first, second, even like third test. I know some people hit on your third, but it's never like perfect. Like don't try perfect it, like just get it up.
Yeah.
Like the results, like you don't know anything until like your metrics give it back to you. So like get the tests up and your metrics will tell you what you're doing wrong, like better than what you think. Like you'll be like, oh, I think, but like you don't know anything. Like Facebook will tell you.
Yeah. Yeah, 100. Like everything is really based around those metrics, and this is what I'm trying to get the point across as well. When everyone tries to perfect the test in the first second, especially when you're like experienced in dropshipping as well. Like you'll go into this thing where you need to perfect the test, but nothing will ever be perfected. Like your first, second test, it doesn't matter if you're 100 tests in. Your first test on a new product is never going to be good because you always have to learn about how the product works. And this is one thing, like that a lot of people do is they just move with speed. Get the test up, see what the metrics say, and then you can just go from there. Never like,
Even my best CBO, it did like 10K spend, and I look back on like the winning ad, and like there's some mistakes in there, like in the text, like that's what I mean. Like
some of my winners that honestly like that spent a crazy amount. It's just the basic ad that's just like I was running a bit more of a UGC style back in the days. But like now it's pretty much the same. Like just keep it simple. With the
yeah,
FA
literally.
stance, just get it up, and then your metrics are gonna tell you, as that one was saying, and then you're gonna be able to really just move at speed with it because the main thing that will slow people down is perfect the website, ads, da da da. Just get it up, boom.
Yeah,
Um yeah, what can you say about right? Bro, your journey is good. I seen you, right? Davin, if you didn't know, he was always answering inside the Telegram before we switched over to Discord, right? And every single day he was just getting involved. And then I saw him and I was like, right, if you're messaging this much in a channel, bro, like boom, let's get on a call. So me and Davin hopped on a call, we were driving, right? And that's where pretty much we kind of started. How was like in what kind of area was that now? We got on that call. You were actively, and this is what I want to talk about. You were actively inside the groups. And when someone's so active inside the groups, all I see is Davin, 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 just popping up, popping up, popping up. So then it's kind of bad for me not to go out and just be like, let's go. Let's get on a call. Let's switch something there because he's actively trying to put in the input. So this is what you guys need to be doing. It's just getting involved. But at that stage, right? How long ago is that now? What, 2 months? 1 month and a
would have
half?
been probably start of December, nearly 2 months more even.
So nearly 2 months, right? That was before you hit off that winner.
Yeah,
Um, all right, tell me what kind of right. Understood. One first, second test. You're moving with speed. What's the process now looking like? Any kind of advice for these guys? Haven't maybe not found that winner yet, or testing actively, and then we'll jump into a bit more like advanced stuff down the line. But right now,
like
yeah,
honestly, asking questions is like the most important thing. Because like if you ask me, Oshin, anyone else in the group, like literally look in like the wins group. That's what I did. Look in the wins group, see who's doing well, and ask them something like because like you won't know everything. Like you always have like a specific problem, and it's like if you just ask someone, it can solve you like a few hours. Like I didn't know to like set up the new markets. I was there for like I'd actually say like 8 hours, like 2 days ago, and then Oisin just went on a call with me, and I had them done in like half an hour after.
Yeah, crazy.
Like it took, yeah,
Like you have to understand this as well. Like everyone, everyone starts at zero. Davin came in starting at zero. I started at zero. Like no one just comes in with a brain full of knowledge. So you guys need to pretty much get the knowledge off other people because you're gonna be able to move 10 times quicker. You trying to do it
literally.
yourself is pointless. You're in a group full of people that have already done it. So reach out, learn off them, and don't be shy with it. Davin was boom, 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 boom every single day.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, replying to people like on the group, like it's also like testing your knowledge as well. Like if you say something wrong, like you'll just get corrected, but now you know as well. Like rather than like, oh, what if? Like get into the group, you know?
Yeah, honestly, like the people that I've interacted with more, I've seen like they've taken off more because they're getting the resources. So don't be shy. And don't feel like you're gonna be like, oh, you're stupid or your question's too stupid. There's no judgments. Everyone starts at zero. I'll answer what is the dropshipping question over and over again if I have to. But yeah, all right, moving in now. So your first test that you found. Or not the first test you found, but that first winner you found. How was it? What were you looking for? You don't have to say anything about the product, but like just if you
Yeah.
want to break down process, how you actually kind of found it, what was the mindset leading into everything.
Um. So like just before that, I just done like my fifth product test, and it was pretty good. I was getting some sales, but like I couldn't like just find that winning angle. Like
Mm.
I was doing a lot of creatives, and like they're doing okay, and like there was a winning angle for it. I just never found it. And then I was like, Victor was like, um, if you're spending a lot of time with this, you could find a winning angle on a different product quicker. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll move on. So then I found a new product, and then like I think it was my third CBO kind of took off. So like it's never just your first one. Like if you're getting decent metrics,
Mm.
like dive into it, like, and make more ads like based on what Facebook is telling you, improve based on what Facebook is telling you. And eventually, like even that third CBO, it wasn't even like that much of a winner. Like it was only 1.8 maybe. And then I kept diving into that, and my ads were too short. So my click through rates were really low. And I was like making so many trying to improve it. So then I don't want to like give away. So like I just explained the product more,
Yeah.
and that doubled my click through rate. And she was like, if you double your click through rate, like your ROAS will probably double.
Yeah.
And it did. And my next CBO was like 4 ROAS.
Wow. So literally just diving in without giving away anything, you were like just pretty much educating the customer more. Because with that
Yeah.
product, it's not just a simple product. If you're running a simple product that everyone kind of understands how it works and you can explain it in visuals, then you don't have to explain it. But when it does something, you have to kind of explain it in a bit more. And that's another good thing about, just want to go over that, what you said. Your first CBO is never, it's not, you're not going to wake up with a 3 or 4 ROAS. That's not how testing works. You wake up with some sort of potential on a product and then you dive into it. So
Yeah,
if you,
literally.
yeah, if you wake up with like a 1.4 ROAS, which is break even, oh my goodness, you dive into that because your first test, as Davin was saying, is never good. Like the first test of a new product is never good. His click-through rates were probably like what, 2%, 2 point something. And then he doubled those click rates. So let's say he was on a 1.2 ROAS, which is like just under profitable, and his click rate's 2% because it's a new test. He doesn't know what's working. Then his third CBO, he can improve on that. And then he can double his click rate with better ads, so on and so on. And then that click rate goes from a 2% to a 4%, which doubles that ROAS, which goes from a 1.2 to a 2.4. And then boom, now you're into scaling. So your first CBO, your first test of a new product is never supposed to actually, have good sales, or it just has to have like those 1 or 2 sales. That break even, that's what you're looking
Yeah.
for. You never wake up with that 3 ROAS. I wish. But
Yeah.
once you understand a bit more in the game, then that's when you can start testing into, what is exactly working. But when you're starting off, you probably won't wake up with it 2 or 3 ROAS. But if you do, happy days, even better sign to scale. Um, yeah, so coming in, right? So your first day of testing this product, you said into your third CBO. And then I remember you went over, we don't have to break down anything like with the offers, but you went down you switch up that offer.
Oh yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so basically you told me I was like my offer was pretty good. Like most of my sales were coming from like the offer I wanted. And then you were like, yeah, but you haven't tested this one. So I decided to test it on a split test, and and then it literally like doubled the ROAS again. And I was like, oh, but like it was still so weird. Like I still like kind of run both offers. Like
Yeah,
it's like depending on the CBO, it's like it's a bit different sometimes. Like some people choose one offer, or like sorry, one CBO chooses one offer and the other.
It's weird. No, that's a one of a kind. That's weird. But what can you say about, testing new offers for the newer guys? This is more coming into past your testing now. Once you have like validated something, your test has two, three sales, you're trying to make it work. How important is offer testing?
Like your offer, like yeah, you might think it's working, but like you don't actually know until you test other offers. Like you need to test everything. Like you don't actually know anything until you test it. Same with ads. Like
Yeah, 100%. And this is the whole game from testing to scaling. Even at scaling, when you're doing 300K revenue months, you need to be consistently testing. This is how brands
yeah,
will take it to a million, 10 million, 100 million. Or we've not got there yet, but you just need more testing. Um, yeah, okay. So you got your testing in. Let's go back to the testing because I think there's a lot of people, on that testing phase. What were you like? You said you took that break. Maybe a lot of people are also at the point where, they might take a break for Chinese New Year or something like that, or they might want to take like they've taken a week off or something like that. What's the mindset, behind that? How did you just jump straight back into it?
um, like I took a fairly long break because I was going like 100 for like a few weeks and I wasn't getting much results, and like that is like it is like it plays on your mind a bit.
Hmm.
Like no one wants to like see all this like money gone in, all this work, and you're getting like nothing back from it. But that's just like how it is for the first while. It's really frustrating, but like you just have to keep going. Like there's no easy way around it. There's no like quick solution. Like you just have to keep going, like even when it's annoying, and like not lying to yourself. Like saying you're putting in the work, but you're actually not. Like if you're doing like a few ads a day, like it's not enough. Like you want to be like when you're in your test and looking for your product, like you want to be getting like a CBO up maybe like every 2 or 3 days
Hmm.
if you can.
Yeah, good quality and just diving in. And yeah, that's so true as well. Like there's always going to be quiet stages in business. Doesn't matter. Like this is part of the game. Your first, second test is never supposed to really make sales. You just have to kind of push through it, understand the game, manage it correctly. Like don't be spending loads of money if a product's unprofitable. If it has the potential, fair enough, dive into it. But if it's just not giving those results, cut it off. And now at this stage in Fake First, you guys have access to so much one-to-one. Like you guys don't really have to make those, beginner rookie mistakes. We can pretty much go over those. We can prevent them in the one-to-ones and just by chatting to other people. Like so many guys have now scaled up their products. So use these resources. If you're feeling it's a bit slower, if nothing's hitting off, you got to keep pushing through. This game isn't, this is why dropshippers like in e-commerce, not everyone wins because not everyone's actually willing to even get on a call. Like, you know what I mean? There's only a select few of you guys who actually made it to the call. These other guys, if they can't make it to the call, you have to be so driven. So, okay, fair enough, you guys, if some of the guys couldn't actually make it, but you know what I mean? You just have to consistently just put in and actually show up and you miss a week off, doesn't matter. Get back into it the next weekend and know like you will eventually make it work. So just keep on, pushing through with it. And I think that mindset, Davin said it well, is just never slow down with it. But yeah, all right. So that's testing. That's mindset going over testing. This is how you found it off that six, seventh, whatever, seven product. Now coming into really taking things off. Yes, we went over, that offer. Like, what was the whole mindset? Like, what value, what can you say to the guys? Might be in that testing phase, might be in that, validation phase now. Test offers, yeah. Test new creatives, yeah. Double those CTRs. But what else? Like, How did you get to, what was your top revenue? Like 3.6K in a day?
Yeah, 3.6K in a day. And yeah,
So
I
how
was
did you
doing
get
like
to that level?
consistent like 12K weeks.
12.
It's literally like it's all in the creative. Like after you test like which offer is working, like before you're even testing offers, like yeah, like in your first second test, you have to know like how to make a good offer. I didn't actually realize how important that was. Like my first product test, it was like this like cellulite massage roller, and I priced at 29.99 for one with like
Mm.
6 euro delivery. Like no one's actually gonna buy that. Like I got one lucky sale and thought I was like, oh, but like yeah, no. Yeah, it's all in the ads kind of.
Mm.
Like you need to be putting out like once you validate a product, like you need to be getting a CBO up every single day. Like 5 ads, get it up.
Yeah.
Because like that's what will take you to like it's not just gonna happen. Like you need to put out ads every single day.
Yeah, ads, 100%. And that's another thing, just undercutting those prices. I see some of you guys running like crazy prices, 30 euro for a product that
Yeah,
you can sell for much cheap. You don't need to make 30 euro margin off your offers. You know, your buy
yeah,
one, if you're running a buy one, buy two, get one free, you could like run at 14 euro on your buy one, and then the buy two, get one free has like a 23 euro or a 22 euro gross margin. That's all you need to scale up. If you're getting 8 euro CPAs, you're making like 11 euro profit per order. You don't need a big 30 euro, 25 euro margin on your first offer. Like it's just, yeah, undercut those prices. That's how you'll get it done. Um, yeah. So anything you want to say, like, right, you got scaling up. You pushed what? 3.6K in one day and then 12K weeks in New York when you weren't even working.
yeah.
Right. What could you say to the guys who are, what like just speak to them. Coming up, they might be feeling a bit, haven't hit their winner yet, or they're coming up to that winner. It's all in the creatives. But what else?
Another thing like I'd see from like people sending me messages is like they're like yeah, go out and get like other information like in other places and like try learn as much as you can, but don't like switch up like testing strategies. Like just stick with the one thing. Like there's people like, oh, should I try like ABOs? Like again, like multiple ads. That's like don't overcomplicate it. Just keep it simple, keep it direct. Like what we have, like it does work.
Yeah.
So literally just do it, double down on it, and put the hours into what you're given here, and it will work.
Yeah, well said. Like the testing strategy, like each testing strategy will work as long as your creatives are good. So what is the point in switching and swapping? It's not going to magically change your stuff overnight. What magically changes your stuff overnight is your offer, is your creatives, as we really
Yeah.
we're breaking it down. But yeah, okay, so coming into you've scaled this up. How was scaling? How was everything with the scaling side of things? Like you changed the stuff up, it went boom, doubles ROAS. What's scaling like?
It's like you literally like you don't realize like you're actually scaling until you're like, wait, hold on, I'm doing like 2K a day. Because like all scaling is like bumping your budgets, like
Yeah,
and putting more ads out. So like it's not like some big thing where it's like, oh, you're moving on to the next step. You're literally just like clicking a button and hit publishing it at 12 o'clock, and then like you're waking up with like more money.
yeah, crazy. And like how quick was it? So right, maybe people think it's gonna take you 60 days to get 3.6K. You went from I'd say 300 euro days
Yeah, I was
to
on
like
like consistent like 300-400 euro days, and
and then
then
yeah.
within a week maybe.
So in
uh,
a week, boom, straight to like 3.6K days.
yeah, literally
And how did you get from 300 euro to those 3.6K days?
ads, like
Ads.
just all in the ads.
Crazy. Yeah, so that's it. So I literally all the angles, all the creatives, assess your metrics, look at your hook rates, look at your click-through rates. That's what again, Davin did. He looked at his click-through rate. It was really underperforming. It was under that 3%. So all he had to do was figure out how to double that click-through rate. We went over everything. We had to look his ads. What were they too short or too long?
Yeah, they were way too short. It was like I doubled the length of them, even like more. I run them at like 1 minute 15 sometimes now.
Really, yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you guys can do. You can have a look at, you know, extending that ad or shortening it down because some people will have 1 minute and 15 ads, but they're just rambling. You know what I mean? And there's like stuff that they don't need to say. And then if they shorten that down, it leads to higher click-through rates. And then boom. So I can agree, like I can completely agree with you. Everyone who's pretty much scaled is diving in creatives. That one creative will literally just change it up and then go to the next level. And then what can you say about the I don't want to give I'm not gonna say much, but the you really related to the customer in the actual like ad.
Yeah, so like you really have to like almost like manipulate them into buying it. Like you have to like give them the problem. Like what how you like tell them how they're feeling. Like really make them emotional.
Yeah.
Like customers like they don't buy off logic straight away. They buy and like this is like the kind of market research you have to be like learning, like diving into. Like they don't buy off logic straight away. Like you hit them with like an emotional hook, emotional story. They'll buy off emotion first. Like we're looking for impulse purchases, not like it's not like a 300 euro product where they have to like budget. Like it's like, oh yeah, that's me. I'll buy it.
Yeah. Yeah, you literally just have to really relate to them and dive into exactly how they're feeling. And that's what I mean with, you know, good quality creatives. You have to pretty much speak to the customer. They're seeing ads upon ads, and if they can't relate to your ad, they're gone. So you have to really
Yeah,
relate and connect with them, and that's how you can use like these like Claude AI and stuff like that to really understand it because again, they can pull so much data. Go to Reddit forums, see what people actually want. Go to Amazon reviews about the products like that or the same thing and see what is actually, you know, what is the big problem? What are they solving? What is the product solving that you can implement into an ad that people will, you know, relate to? Stuff like that.
yeah.
And
Like there's certain prompts. Like if you get a chat GPT, like the agent mode, like if you have Pro, you get like 40, and then you literally just get it. Look up on Reddit. If you just get like certain forums, tell it to scan them, and it will literally do the work for you. Get the problems, and also like when you're making your hooks, like also make a big list of hooks, highlight the ones you like, but make sure they're relevant to your ad, because like your hook like funnels for the buyer. Like Meta like will look at your hook and then it will give it to like the buyers based on your hook. So like your hook's important that it's relevant, but it's also like capturing like the attention.
yeah, that's great. Like 100%, especially with you're targeting broad. So, for example, some people could think, okay, why don't I just do interest targeting and target, you know, old beauty women and stuff like that? You don't need to do that. You can do that with your hooks. You know, that's what
Yeah,
that
literally.
was saying. Like your hooks, based off your hooks, you could have one hook which is just targeting older women, one hook targeting middle-aged women, one hook targeting younger women. Put it all into a CBO. Facebook is going to go spend on the best, you know, demographic on the best hook. And then that's how you do your targeting. I don't think I've ever run an interest campaign. Like interest campaigns are let Facebook do the targeting. You basically feed it with the content. That's why this whole game is content. Ads, ads, ads. And then a half decent offer, half decent website, half decent product. That's it. Um, right.
Even
Okay.
my website, like remember my website, like I'd say a week, like I'd already scaled it up.
He had, I think, one thing on his website. It was the most basic thing. He didn't have reviews and FAQs. What did you
I
not
still
have?
actually need to put them FAQs in, I
Still
forgot.
doesn't have the FAQs in it. Oh my goodness. But like this is what I mean. He's 3.6K and he doesn't have FAQs in. Now
Yeah.
that's because Davin just hasn't got around to putting FAQs in, but like that's what I mean. Your website doesn't need to be in. It just needs to be able to take purchases and show the, you know, the product off. Um,
Yeah.
what can you say about the website?
Like as long like you should already have them sold in your ad. So
Yeah,
like my website just brings them straight to the buy button, like with like a nice product image. So like
done.
that's worked for me. So obviously now I'm gonna like dive into my website a bit more and like increase conversion rate as much as I can. But like still the main thing is the ads. Like it's like 70-80% of the work.
Yeah, literally. And as long as the website is just where you take payment basically. So make sure your images are good and they're not too big so it slows down anything and just explain what the product does. Like the questions that were not answered in the ad. That's it. You just give them the extra social proof as well with the reviews or some whatever. If you have UGC content, then boom. That's all they need. And the website, I've seen people run up to like 100K months with the most, you know, basic website. And it's like you don't need anything crazy. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll jump into a bit more in the scaling side of things, but anyone have any questions? We'll do that at the end of this. So just start prepping out your questions, write them down on a piece of paper. In about 10 minutes or whenever we finish up, we're gonna just dive into a bit more like in the scaling side of things now. But we'll do like a segment where you can just unmute, type it into the chat, and then we'll be able to answer them. So just write them down, jot anything down as we're going through the last bit of this. Any questions whatsoever, you can ask to Davin. We'll do it like a segment at the end. So yeah, I don't want to keep it too long, bro. So we'll dive because I know you have to make those ads. We'll dive into a bit more like yeah, like so what are the what are the like the next goals? A lot of people are like you have to realize, Davin, what were you joined in when? Start end of October or start of it? What was it?
Mid-October, with like a
Mid-October.
big break in between there as well.
Right. So, and he only scaled up in January, this is the quietest month of the year, January. So remember
Yeah.
this, like he is literally a month ago or like month and a half ago, he had what, like zero sales, maybe like a few sales. Now he's pushing 40K euro months, 40,000 euro. What's your biggest day, 3,600 biggest revenue in January alone?
Yeah, it was 36, and 36 was my biggest day, and then I did like 40K this month. Yeah.
So 3,600 biggest day, 40K this month alone. So remember, January, January's over now. Um, but you can still like this is still so scalable. 40K months is amazing. It's great. You're gonna of course be able to push more aggressive in Q4, but like January 40K months, know that literally Davin 2 months ago is the same position as you guys mostly are in, trying to test for that product, and then boom, it happens literally so quick. Now he's hopping on the interviews, teaching you guys back, teaching me. I'm learning from this.
So that right there is the full framework of testing products to actually finding winners and making winners work to actually scaling up your first e-commerce product. If you actually implement everything in this video, not just skim over, but implement everything step by step, here's what you can expect. You now have the full framework of how I find, test, and scale up products. So just a couple of words of advice for you guys if you go ahead and start your e-commerce journey. Remember, failing is not failure. When you fail a product test, it is all part of the game. You have to go up, get up, and learn from it so your next test can be even better. You can have all the information in the world, but if you don't go ahead and implement it, it's pointless. Take your first step, find the product, and go from there. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't get overwhelmed with things in the future. For example, scaling when you haven't even found a product. Just take things step by step, and if you ever get confused, just go ahead and rewatch the video. Now, as I said, we gave you the entire framework. Now, there's only so much I can actually give you through a YouTube video. There's 4 things that you guys are missing that I just cannot provide through this video. And these 4 things are normally the things that separate the people from actually implementing and starting to see success versus the people that take the information and then do nothing with it. The first thing is specific feedback on your situation. For example, your products, your website, your ads. I can only give you generic information in this video. Second thing is accountability. 90% of people that watch this probably won't implement anything. They'll just close this video and move on. But having someone there keeping you accountable every single step of the way is how you actually keep consistent. The third thing is the community. When things get hard, you're surrounded by other people who've been in the same situation. When you do it on your own, you don't have access to that. And the last thing is the one-to-one. You don't have access to chat to someone who's already done this every single day to help you go ahead and improve, get our honest feedback so you can take inspiration from and keep on pushing forward. And that's exactly what Faith First is. The implementation and putting things into action. We've built a community where other like-minded people just like yourself are all winning together because they're all trying to push each other to the next level. You have a one-to-one chat with myself and other 6-figure brand owners that can help you any part of the day with any problem that you face because we've already done it. And probably one of the most important things is you get an accountability coach. Someone there to keep you on track because when things get harder or when things are slow, most likely you want to give up. But that accountability coach will help you push through and help you keep accountable so you can keep on showing up every single day so you can build that first e-commerce brand. Now listen, it's not for everyone. If you can implement everything from this video on your own, by all means, I respect that. But if you don't want to do it by yourself and you want to be in that community pushing you every single day, then that's exactly what Faith First is for. Now that being said, if you're looking to see if Faith First is for you or if you're stuck on something and you need help to get to the next level, I'm giving you guys a free call below. You can book in. There's no pitching whatsoever. We'll be able to walk you through and see if we can help you get to the next level. So that's a wrap. If you got some good value, make sure to like and subscribe and comment the biggest takeaway you got from this video down below. We have plenty of more long form coming on the way. So if you want to see that, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next one.